We are live inside Labatt Memorial Park here in London, Ontario. A rare Tuesday night matchup here at the Forks of the Thames. Noah Smith and Dylan Baker to bring you the action here as the Hamilton Cardinals are in town to take on the London Majors. A rained-out game that will finally get in here on, as we mentioned, a rare Tuesday night. We welcome you upstairs to the Game Day London broadcast booth. Dylan, it's hot out there today.
Oh boy.
You can see it out there. The seats are a little bit more empty than usual, even for a weeknight game, and we'll see how that affects the players tonight.
Yeah, the heat is definitely going to play a factor in tonight's game. It is a scorcher at Labatt Park, up near 40 degrees with the humidity. There are fewer fans than we had anticipated. Even though it's a Tuesday night, the Majors still do tend to get some pretty decent crowds out here, but the heat is absolutely a deterrent in this evening's contest, and it'll be interesting to see how it impacts the players out on field level.
Dylan, we get our first look here on home field to see the Hamilton Cardinals as the London Majors and Cardinals got rained out a couple of weeks ago. Now they'll play this Tuesday night game. It's funny, I was on the way to the ballpark today talking to a few people. I said, Tuesday night, that's weird. That's one of the cons about playing a lot of weekend games, is that when you get a rain out, you got nowhere else to put it but on a Tuesday night.
Exactly. You're stuck on a Tuesday night playing a weekday contest. Nobody's quite ready for it, and the fans don't always come out, but the Majors have a good fan base who will always come out and support them. So a Tuesday night contest, listen, Noah, I'm excited to be at the ballpark because anytime you get an extra occasion to be here, you got to take it.
And the London Majors, Dylan, going to be looking to bounce back after a tough loss on Sunday against the Barrie Baycats at Pack the Park Day. Really looking to rebound. Before that, a couple of wins on the weekend, Friday night, Saturday in Guelph, and then just didn't have enough left in the tank, it looked like, on that Sunday afternoon contest.
Yeah, playing 3-3 is never easy, Noah, and it certainly wore down the Majors a little bit. The offense seemed to come out in pretty good force on Sunday, scoring 8 runs, but it wasn't enough to beat the Barrie Baycats, who scored 14 of their own in that contest. Barrie was in control really from the get-go. It felt like they had an extra motivation in that Pack the Park game, not only because there were so many fans in the stands, but because of how handily the London Majors beat them in their last matchup. So Barrie came out and played a very good game. The Majors will be looking to bounce back and get back in the win column here today.
And they're going to be facing off, as mentioned, against the Hamilton Cardinals. Let's take a look and check out the starting lineup brought to you by eathealthyeats.ca of those Hamilton Cardinals. Dylan, starting it off, it is the man that has been the Hamilton Cardinals leadoff guy, Justin Gideon, in center field, leading things off for the Cardinals in the ball game.
Yeah, Justin Gideon is in the leadoff spot, as we have seen for so long. He's in center field, followed by Luis Jean, who's at shortstop. He's been having a great year for the Cardinals so far. Tyler Duncan is batting third, followed by Josh Niles, who had a good rookie season last year in Hamilton. Lane Renault, who's been around for a while, then is followed by Tristan Osika. Julian Johnson, former London Major, IBL champion with the Majors last year, now a Hamilton Cardinal. He'll bat seventh and play first base. Aiden Mirror will do the catching, and Sean Petner is at third base.
So that rounds out the lineup for the visiting Hamilton Cardinals in the ball game tonight. You mentioned there, former Major Julian Johnson, now with the Hamilton Cardinals. We'll get to see him a little bit lower in the lineup there, but we'll get to see him tonight take his swings. This Hamilton Cardinals offense is interesting because not off to a great start this year in terms of their record, second last in the IBL, but still an offense that can be dangerous at times. And you look really at the 1-2 in that lineup with Justin Gideon leading things off. Dangerous, right? Can get on base and can do some damage early in the order.
Listen, Justin Gideon is one of the best hitters in the Intercounty Baseball League, and he really sets the tone in that leadoff spot. He can do it all. He can hit, he can run, he plays great defense, and he's definitely a huge piece of this Hamilton Cardinals lineup and has been for a while. So with him at the top, followed by a guy like Luis Jean, you're going to be off to a good start in ball games, and it's just a matter of keeping that up as the game progresses.
Well, Dylan, let's check out the starting pitchers that will get to face off against the Hamilton Cardinals lineup here as we take a look at the starting pitchers in the ball game. Daniel Gore is going to be making his first start as a Major, his second appearance in the Pinstripes, and not off to a great start in his first appearance, but he'll look to do a little bit better here in his first start on the mound.
You know what, Noah, not a bad outing in his first appearance. It was a relief appearance against the Welland Jackfish on June 11th. He threw 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 2. Not a bad outing by any means. He did take the loss in that game. He came into the ball game, surrendered a few runs, lost the lead for the Majors, and wound up taking the L in that contest, but not a bad first appearance. So he'll be looking to keep that up a little bit and kind of have a bit of a better outing as a starter in this one. Ben Braun is on the other side for the Hamilton Cardinals.
So those are the starting pitchers in this evening's ball game here on this Tuesday night from Labatt Memorial Park. Looks like the lineups are all finished up and announced, so we're going to take it down to field level, and actually we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here for the National Anthems. First pitch to follow here from London on Majors TV.
we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Here at EatHealthyEats.ca, we believe that a healthy diet and good nutrition shouldn't have to be sacrificed for convenience. That's why we deliver the meals to you so they're ready when you need it, even with your busy schedule. On our website, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start by picking your meals from our seasonally curated menus made from local produce. And after that, the rest is up to us. We'll cook, package, and deliver your meals right to your door twice a week. Then eat and repeat. It's that easy. EatHealthyEats.ca, from farm to folks.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Back inside Labatt Memorial Park here, the Anthems complete and just about ready for baseball here on a warm and humid Tuesday night in the Forest City. We got a look at the starting pitcher, and there he is on your screen. Daniel Gore will get the start for the Majors tonight.
Daniel Gore on the mound. We talked about his first outing in Welland. He's also got an outing as a pinch runner where he scored a run also against the Welland Jackfish in Welland, funny enough. Gore is a guy who's a big, lanky, right-handed arm, and that can certainly benefit you when you're out there on the mound. The taller you are, the tougher it is for batters to hit, it seems, and so the Majors are hoping that Gore can come out and provide a solid outing against the Hamilton Cardinals here tonight. Noah, you see it on your screen there. One of the things that I love about Daniel Gore and the way he wears his uniform is he's got the retro kind of long pants, but he's still got the stirrup high socks low enough just past the ankles.
Certainly a good look there as Daniel Gore gets warmed up here to face off against the Hamilton Cardinals, top of the first inning. Majors, after a big 3-3 weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just one day off before getting this makeup game in here on this Tuesday night.
No, we talked on Sunday about how the Majors may have to manage their pitching a little bit differently because you've got the 4 games in the 5 days, and I think that's what's led to Gore getting the start here tonight. It's the first time this season that a guy not named Pedro de los Santos, Owen Boone, or Jose Arias has received a start for the London Majors, and Gore certainly a capable guy out there on the mound, so the Majors are going to be hoping for a good outing from him today.
Oddly enough, not the only game in the IBL this evening. The Barrie Baycats are in Guelph to take on the Royals. That game just getting underway as well. So a couple of games on tap here in the IBL on this Tuesday evening. But it looks like the throw is down, and we are just about all set and ready to go here for first pitch from Labatt Memorial Park. As Justin Gideon stands in to that left-hand batter's box, Daniel Gore will gather himself behind the mound and get us ready to go. Fixing the mound a little bit out front. Not really any rain in the area today, so just watered down a little bit too much, it looks like. But Daniel Gore is ready to go as he grabs his sign from catcher Robert Mullen and comes to the plate just outside for ball 1 to get us underway.
One of the things the Hamilton Cardinals did pregame today, Noah, was they took an infield and outfield before the game, and that's something we don't see a lot of road teams do. I know the Kitchener Panthers do it when they're in town, but that caused the grounds crew to water down the field a little bit later as that one hits the outside corner, and that could be a factor in tonight's ballgame, just at least to get things going as Gore tries to find his footing out there on the mound.
1-1 here as Gore battles back after the called strike. Here's the delivery to the plate. Called on the outside edge. Gideon doesn't like the location of that one, possibly the delay in the call as well, but it's 1-2.
Yeah, Gideon threw his arm up there, not too happy with that call from the home plate umpire, but he called it on the previous pitch, so goes back there again.
in the air, center field. It's going to drop in front of Austin Wilkie, just off the end of the bat, but it'll be a leadoff base hit here for Gideon and the Cardinals to get things started in the top of the first.
Weak contact there off the bat of Justin Gideon, but he got enough of it to get into the outfield and have it drop in front of Austin Wilkie for a base hit for Hamilton. Good effort there from Wilkie, the center fielder, charging hard, trying to make the play on that baseball, just with no success, as it was a little too far from him. He was playing deep because he knows the power that Gideon has and just couldn't quite come up with that.
So Gideon takes his lead at first after the leadoff single. Gore grabs his sign, now comes to the plate. That one fouled back to the screen, and that will move to 0-1 in favor of Gore.
Gore doing a good job establishing the fastball early. He's liked to come with it on Gideon and now Luis Jean. So it's certainly a pitch he likes to go to, and we'll see how much the off-speed plays a factor in this one as the game progresses.
Gore checks and now comes to the plate again. John fouls that one back to the screen, and he'll fall behind in the count 0-2. Getting a guy that can swipe some bags. Obviously has a nice big lead over there at first base, just about the cut of the grass. Angles his body towards second like he's going to go at any moment.
He's not afraid to run if he sees a good opportunity. He's got 2 stolen bases so far this year, had 8 last season.
Gore will take notice and throw back to first. Just checking on him here on the 0-2 count.
Can't worry too much about that runner at first. The guy like Luis Jean at the plate, the San Pedro de Macorís Dominican Republic native, is batting .351 this season. His first in the IBL. He's got a home run and 5 runs batted in.
Gore checks, comes to the plate again. This one hit into center field as well. It'll drop in front of Wilkie, and it's going to be back-to-back hits for the Cardinals to start the first inning.
Yeah, that one hit a little bit harder off the bat of the hitter, Noah, Luis Jean, and Wilkie charged hard trying to make a play and just was not quite able to come up with it. Just out of his reach on that one. He was shaded a little more towards right center and could not get to that baseball. So a nice, solid single for Luis Jean, and all of a sudden the Cardinals are pressing. They got 2 on with nobody out.
In a good spot here to start the first inning for Hamilton. You can bet they would love to strike first here on the road on this Tuesday night. Squaring around a bunt and gets it down. Back to the pitcher. The throw from Gore to one in time to get him. So a sacrifice for the first out, and that'll move the runners up 90 feet apiece.
Not often you see a number 3 hitter in an order bunt, Noah, but that was the case right there as Tyler Duncan laid one down. It was a good sacrifice bunt. Daniel Gore came off the mound, was able to scoop it up and fire it over to first in good time to get the runner, but Josh Niles now steps up. Instead of having 2 guys on with only 1 in scoring position, he's got 2 guys on both in scoring position here. A good RBI spot for the Cardinals early.
So looking to bring in some runs here for Hamilton. Called strike 1 to start the at-bat. Simon's playing in at first base. Kresminski not as much at third. Still behind the bag. Off-speed pitch, hammered left field. Tracking back towards the wall, and that one's going to sail into the trees and out of here. A 3-run shot for Niles, and the Cardinals strike first, 3-0 here in the first inning.
Josh Niles with a moonshot to left field. That was up into the trees, well past the left field fence, and it's got to feel good for Niles, a local guy playing at Labatt Park, and he hit an absolute moonshot there for Hamilton.
Not the start drawn up here by the Majors and Daniel Gore. But he's going to have to get back to work quickly here. The Majors are going to need some innings out of him in this ball game. As the first pitch is going to be fouled off and out of play over top of the first base grandstand.
No, we're not too sure what the plan is after Daniel Gore in this contest. We knew that Gore was starting, but we weren't sure who's coming in after him, who's going to follow him out of the Majors bullpen.
0-1, lifted right field towards the bullpen, and that one's going to drop up against the fence inside the Hamilton bullpen. Moves the count to 0-2 again.
No, correct me if I'm wrong here. It's the first one I picked up on, but I believe that was the first off-speed pitch, first breaking ball we've seen, at least from Daniel Gore. It was a pretty good one. Got Renault off the end of the bat there, just cued it into foul territory, and it landed foul down by the Hamilton Cardinals bullpen.
It's got an 0-2 count. We'll see if they go to it again. Drops it on the inside, doesn't get the call. Mullen thought they might have caught the inside edge. It's 1-2, though.
They came pretty close. Mullen almost had the frame on that one as well, but no dice from the home plate umpire.
Lane Renault looking to kickstart another rally here, but he's going to look at strike 3 called on the inside edge. Gore with the strikeout, and there are 2 gone here in the inning.
Clearly a pitch that Daniel Gore likes, that breaking ball that comes back on the inside part of the plate. He tried to freeze Renault with that one on the 0-2, didn't get the call, so he went right back with it, this time a little bit more over the plate, which can be dangerous at times, but he found the right spot in the corner. Renault took it again, and it was strike 3 called. A good job there by Daniel Gore, not only getting the strikeout with a good breaking ball, but bouncing back after the home run.
And now we'll look to work through this first inning and get the Majors onto the bats. This one hammered and foul. Just foul down the first base line as the umpire had to get out of the way and then make the call.
Good rip there off the bat of Tristan Osika, lining that one towards the first baseline, and good job by the umpire over at first base getting out of the way of that one.
Gore once again up in a count. If there's one thing he's been doing, it's a lot of strikes so far. That one just off the edge of the plate, 1-1.
Yeah, no, Gore has thrown 16 pitches. 81% of them have been strikes. Out of the 16 pitches he's thrown, 13 strikes so far. He's been filling up the zone.
Misses outside for a second straight time there, 2-1. 2 gone here in the top of the first inning. 3 runs already across for Hamilton. Now the 2-1 delivery. Just off the plate again.
Not missing by much here, Noah, as Gore tries to find the zone here and get back in this count that he's behind in, 3-1.
That last one possibly the closest of the 3 to miss. Just off the edge. 3-1 delivery is going to miss. So lost it a bit there and walks him. And that'll put a runner on with 2 gone here as the Cardinals continue to have themselves a good first inning.
Yeah, Hamilton doing a good job of getting to Gore early, making him throw some pitches here. The home run from Niles and then the walk right here. 3-0 Cardinals already. They've got a runner on with 2 away. Chance to drive in some more perhaps, although the runner is a ways away over at first base. But still a good job by Hamilton getting things going for the offense early.
First pitch from Gore, and that one's going to miss upstairs. Cardinals up 3-0 here in the ball game, looking to add on here in the first inning if they can. The Majors looking to get on the bats. 3 runs certainly not unsurmountable here, but they'd love to keep it at that here in the first inning. Here's the 1-0 delivery. This one's going to be hit high and deep to left field. Tracking back towards the wall, and that one's going to find its way into the trees and out of here. 2-run shot, and the Cardinals extend their lead. It's now 5-0.
Second home run hit by the Hamilton Cardinals in this ball game, and second home run hit well into the trees in this contest for the Hamilton Cardinals. Julian Johnson goes way out of here against his former team, and another big blow for Hamilton, who leads 5-0 here early.
Just the start the Cardinals were looking for here on the road on this Tuesday night. Fans still finding their seats, and it's a 5-0 ball game. Robert Mullen just getting back from talking things over with his starting pitcher. Up over 20 pitches in the inning, 5 runs across for the Cardinals. That pitch is there for a strike, so it's 0-1.
Not a bad idea for Mullen there to go out and talk to his pitcher, just try to calm him down, tell him he's got one more out to get here before he can head back to the dugout and let the offense take care of things.
And that was a breaking ball for a strike, so once again he gets himself way ahead in the count, 0-2. To the plate, this one. Hit on the ground, third base, coming over Krasmitsky, the throw. Picked out of the dirt by Simons, and there for the out to get the Majors out of the top of the first inning, but not before the Cardinals put 5 runs on the board, courtesy of 2 long balls into the trees in left field. On just 4 hits, they have a 5-0 lead heading to the bottom of the first.
Really the ideal start for the Hamilton Cardinals here, Noah, in that top of the first inning. 5 runs, 2 home runs, and not just wall scraper home runs either. These things were hit a long way into the trees out in left field. So a fantastic start for Hamilton. They're going to look to keep up as the ball game progresses here at Labatt Park.
So the Majors needing to get some work done here. They're trailing by 5 early. Now let's check out the lineup that will get set to face off against Ben Braun for the London Majors. Brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca. Austin Wilkie, the center fielder, will lead things off for the Majors, followed by Keith Candell and Cleveland Brownlee. So a little bit of a different look for the Majors at the top of the order today. You'll notice that really throughout the order, some new faces slotting in.
Yeah, no Jacob Newton in the lineup tonight. Gibson Kurzminski is near the bottom, and Drew Lawrence getting the night off as well. So Wilkie leads things off in center field. Keith Candell is a shortstop. Candell's been swinging a hot bat of late. Noah, we talked about it on Sunday at the Pack the Park game. Cleveland Brownlee, of course, off to one of the best starts of his career, bats third. And then Robert Mullen, who hit 2 home runs on Sunday afternoon, including an absolute moonshot in the 9th inning of that contest against Barrie. Bats cleanup as per usual. Starling Joseph is once again in the 5th spot. Right fielder. Noah, you and I watched his round of BP this afternoon before the game, and he was looking really good. We'll see if that translates into the ball game today. Gibson Kurzminski, who's been a great add for the Majors so far. Phil Whalen, Kieran Bowles, and Evan Simons round things out.
That is the starting lineup for the London Majors, brought to you by EatHealthyEats.ca as they get set to face off against Ben Braun, the starter here for Hamilton, the lefty on the mound. We'll see if the Majors' righty bats can do any damage here against the Cardinals starter. Always tough when you get down by a large sum early on in the ball game. You want to try and get it all back at once. Similar to how Hamilton got 5 runs in the first, you want to try and do that as well. But really, if you can get the pitching settled down and you can just chip away at this lead, no better time to be down than down early, because that just means a lot more time to get yourself back into the ballgame.
Absolutely. All the Majors need to do here is chip away, and they've got a lot of righty bats, as you mentioned, Noah, in this lineup. There's not a single left-handed hitter in the lineup for the London Majors today. It is righties, and then one switch hitter. Gibson Kurzminski is a switch hitter who bats 6th. So Roop Chanderdat knows Ben Braun, because Ben Braun has been in the league since 2017, and he knows what works best against Ben Braun, and that is a lineup filled with right-handed batters. So that's what Roop Chanderdat has gone with here today.
So Austin Wilkie steps into that right-hand batter's box, and he'll lead things off in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch is going to miss upstairs to Wilkie. We'll look to try and get on to start things for London. Pitch by Braun just off the plate as well.
Some good takes here early in this plate appearance for Austin Wilkie, who got off to a bit of a slow start with the bat for the Majors, but as of late has been turning things around a little bit. He's going to look to continue to do that here. He was a guy who hit at the top of the order a lot down the stretch for the Majors last year, and they'd love for him to get back to that previous form.
3 straight wide ones here to start the bottom of the first inning, as Wilkie, with a good eye, has worked himself ahead in the count. Braun grabs his sign. Now the delivery to the plate. That one will catch the zone, so it's 3-1 now.
Not a bad idea to take all the way if you're Wilkie there. See if you can get on base in the easiest way possible. 4 straight wide ones, but that one caught the outside corner.
Here's the pitch, and fouled back by Wilkie into the screen. So from 3-0 now to a full count at 3-2. Braun has battled it back. Wilkie's still looking to find any way he can to get on to start the inning. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Wilkie hit hard and into left field for a base hit. Good way to start the inning here for London after putting 5 runs on the board in the top of the first inning for Hamilton.
Yeah, good job by Austin Wilkie to get things going for the majors, and that's the Austin Wilkie we saw a lot last year. The kind of guy who can just rip one in the hole for a base hit. That's exactly what he did on that last swing. Put it right between the shortstop and third baseman into left field. A good job by Austin Wilkie there, getting the barrel on that baseball and getting on board for Keith Candell.
Here is Keith Candell, as we mentioned, swinging a good bat of late. Just continued that on Sunday afternoon. He'll take that first pitch for a strike.
Keith not a fan of that call. Looked like it might have been a little bit low, and Keith is really seeing it right now, so I trust his opinion a little bit, but does not get the call from the home plate umpire.
Wilkie with the lead, and it's going to draw a throw back to first. Lefty on the mound. He's got to be careful. We'll keep an eye on the pickoff move by Braun throughout the ball game. Pitch upstairs to Candell, even as the count up at 1-1.
One of the guys who will definitely be keeping an eye on that pickoff move is the man at the plate, Keith Candell. When he gets on, he does like to run when he sees an opportunity, so he'll be trying to check out the pickoff move from Ben Braun. His former teammate, I believe, Noah. No, that's wrong. It was not a teammate of Keith Candell's. I apologize.
The years just didn't add up.
Played for Burlington. They both did, but Keith was in London the time that Ben Braun played for the Burlington Herd.
1-2 now on Keith Candell. It's a leadoff single for Austin Wilkie, who stands at first base. Pitch from Braun. Upstairs, a little bit out as well, 2-2.
Yeah, that one missed up and away to Keith Candell. He's got a good eye at the plate, does not get cheated, and did not go after that one.
Wilkie once again grabs his lead. Pitch to the plate, taken inside by Candell, and the count will move to full.
Good block there behind the plate by Aiden Muir, getting in front of that baseball as it was inside on Keith Candell. Now he's worked it back to a full count after falling behind a little bit early. So good job by Candell at the plate. Back-to-back full counts. The majors are making Braun throw a lot of pitches here in this first inning.
Braun, of course, got warmed up as well and then had to sit for an extended time as his team put up 5 runs in the inning. Pitch outside, and Keith Candell will take a walk.
So Ben Braun missed the first 3 pitches to Austin Wilkie and then fell behind Keith Candell. Got ahead of him early and then fell behind after that. So good job by Keith working a walk in that plate appearance, and a good job by the majors, making him throw a lot of pitches so far in this inning and getting 2 guys on with nobody out for the hottest hitter in the IBL right now, Cleveland Brownlee.
Number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
So Cleveland Brownlee steps to the plate now. Not quite the cheer we heard on Sunday when the seats were filled. With fans still welcoming Cleveland to the plate here. He's got a runner at first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Cleveland is 3rd in the IBL in batting average right now. He leads the league in home runs and runs batted in. He's been off to a great start this year.
Takes that first pitch low. Brownlee actually historically not a hot starter in the IBL. This year has been different. He's been off to a flaming hot pace to the 2022 season. Here's the 1-0 hit. Jammed Brownlee a little bit on the inside part of the play, and it's going to be a fly out to center field, shallow center field. Getting in there to make the catch and the out.
Good job there by Ben Braun out on the mound, getting that pitch far enough inside on Cleveland Brownlee that he could not get his arms extended. It jammed him, and he just looped it into center field where Gideon was able to make the play. A very good pitch there from the Hamilton lefty.
The catcher, number 25, Robert Mullen.
So now Robert Mullen will come to the plate. Talk about hot hitters on the majors. Mullen right there behind Brownlee.
Yeah, Mullen leads the league in average, has 5 home runs, trailing Brownlee's 7, and is up there in RBI as well.
That first pitch just missing from Braun, so it's 1-0 here on the Majors catcher. Braun checks back at second quickly. Now comes to the plate. Mullen's going to hit that one on the ground. Shortstop, bobbled. Throw to one. Just in time to get Mullen. So it's a ground out after the bobble at short. The runners will move up to second and third, but there's 2 gone in the inning.
Good play over there at shortstop to recover that baseball and make a good throw over to first base. Could have been trouble over there with Candell running to second. He made it there pretty easily, but a good strong throw to first was able to get Mullen at least.
So Starling Joseph now. Be up to him to keep the line moving, try to drive in some runs for the Majors in the bottom half of the first inning. First pitch. That one just missing, it looked like, by Braun, and it's 1-0.
No, I'm not sure who it is out over at shortstop, but I don't believe that's Louis Jean out there. Possibly Josh Niles. I'm not too sure who's the shortstop for the Hamilton Cardinals, but if I'm not mistaken, that's not the regularly scheduled shortstop who was in the batting order penciled in over at short. Jean, so we'll try to figure that out for you.
Braun falls behind 2-0 here on Starling Joseph. Now the delivery. Chased outside by Joseph on the 2-0 pitch, now 2-1.
Starling's such a good hitter at the plate. He gets excited when he sees that lefty coming in and tried to do a little too much to that baseball.
Just got to stay within his means here. A couple of runners in scoring position. Joseph jammed a little bit right center field, coming over Gideon, and he's there to make the catch and record the out to end the first inning. The Majors get a couple of base runners, but they don't score any runs here in the first, and they'll trail by a score of 5-0 as we go to inning number 2. You're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park on Majors TV. It is a hot and humid Tuesday night, and the Hamilton Cardinals have got off to a good start here. 5-0 lead after the first inning of play on 4 hits. Good bottom of the first to get out of a little bit of trouble there by Ben Braun, the starter, and now Hamilton will look to try and add on a few more here if they can in the top half of inning number 2. First pitch by Daniel Gore there for a strike, 0-1.
Good pitch there from Gore to get ahead of the first batter in this inning. Sam Petner, the only guy who did not hit in the first frame for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Takes that one inside to even the count up at the ball and a strike. Gore now on the same page with catcher Robert Mullen. This one swung on and missed. Patner falls behind 1-2. Gore looking to have a much better second inning here. Gave up 4 hits, 2 of those long balls, and surrendered 5 runs in the first.
Despite the fact that he did allow all those runs, Noah, he threw a lot of strikes in that first inning. If he continues to fill out the zone, perhaps the tide will turn for him a little bit.
1-2. On the ground, and that one's going to get past the diving third baseman Kresminski into left. Big round. The throw is going to come in from the outfield, but offline and not quite in time from Phil Whalen. And it's going to be a leadoff double for the bottom of the order here to start the second inning for Hamilton.
Good effort there from Gibson Kresminski over at third base and from Phil Whalen in left field. That ball was hit right down the line. Kresminski dove across trying to make that play unsuccessfully, and then Whalen loaded up trying to make a strong throw. Didn't get much on it and was unable to throw Petner out at second base.
So back to the top of the order. Gideon will swing right through the first pitch he sees. It's 0-1.
Good off speed there from Gore, burying that in the dirt on the inside part to the left-handed power hitter Gideon. It's a pitch that he thinks he can drive because it's low and inside. That's typically a good spot for lefty power bats, but came up empty on that one. Good off speed from Daniel Gore.
Gideon on the ground, first base, picked up on a hop. Gideon runs well. The play at first, in time to get him for the first out. And Gideon got to be careful as he tosses his helmet after the play, and the first base umpire had not stopped looking at him since.
Yeah, Gideon, a guy who plays with a lot of emotion, wears his heart on his sleeve when he's out on the field, and almost beat that out. But was just barely out over at first base on the play by Evan Simons, as that will bring up Nathan Scragg, who is into the game for Luis Jean.
Takes his first pitch of the game, and it's there for a strike. Luis John exited the ball game. Back in that first inning. And Scragg, his replacement here, came in defensively. He takes a big cut at that off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2 quickly here for Daniel Gore.
Good sequencing there from Gore and Mullen, getting ahead of Scragg early with a strike and then throwing him an off-speed pitch, a wipeout breaking ball out off the plate outside the strike zone there in the lefty batter's box, and Scragg chased.
Gore looking for a big 0-2 pitch. Setting up off the plate, this one missing inside, but fouled off and out of play by Scragg. Count will stay at 0-2.
Scragg, a guy who does battle when he's up there at the plate. Had a really good game here at Labatt Park last year when the Hamilton Cardinals were in town. Hit a couple of doubles. I believe had 4 hits in that game, Noah, if I'm not mistaken.
Going to drive this one right center field. Coming over is Austin Wilkie to make the catch. Throw into home will not be in time as it's cut off. And a sacrifice fly will bring in the 6th run of the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Good job by Nathan Scragg doing his job, getting the ball into the outfield. Good play by Wilkie out in center field. Austin Wilkie's got a pretty good arm out in center, but there was no real shot at getting the runner trying to score on that sacrifice fly because Wilkie ranged over to his left and couldn't really set himself up for the throw properly. If he catches that on his right, if he's on the backhand there, if that's in left center, he can kind of line himself up with the plate, but unable to do that based on the location of that baseball. They appealed down to third, Noah, to see just to make sure that the runner tagged up, that Petner tagged up, and he's all good according to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, Gibson Kresminski does not think so. I think he was the one who initiated that check at third. First pitch from Gore's there for a strike, 0-1.
Not a bad idea to check. No, you can always check. There's no harm in appealing. You might not get the call you're looking for, but you can always give it a try.
0-1 pitch is fouled off. Mullen Kresminski will give it a look, but they're going to watch this one sail out of play, foul. Gore gets ahead 0-2 here. Cardinals leading by a score of 6-0. Here's the 0-2 slipping on the off speed, well off the plate, and the count now at a ball and 2 strikes.
No real temptation there for Duncan at the plate, as that one was well off the plate outside.
Delivery to the plate, fouled off again. Great job by Duncan to just keep on battling at the plate. Try and foul these off till he gets one he likes.
Putting up a good battle here at the plate in his first plate appearance. He had a sacrifice bunt, which moved two guys into scoring position for Josh Niles, who then went way out of here.
One, two, just off the edge of the plate. Doesn't get the call, and the count even at 2-2 now. Gore looking to work through the second inning. Off speed, slips out of the hand again. It's the second time this at bat that off speed pitch has slipped and missed well outside.
Yeah, it seems like he's having a bit of a tough time with that grip right now, Noah. You mentioned it, second time this plate appearance that it slipped right out of his hand, and that's cost him 2 balls. So now it's a full count with 2 away to Duncan.
Full count pitch to the plate, fouled straight back.
Went back with the fastball after the off-speed slip, tried to go upstairs and climb the ladder on Duncan, but he was able to get a piece and fight it off.
See if they come back with the fastball. Breaking ball has missed a couple of times in this at-bat. Here's the 3-2. Popped up on the infield. Keith Candell ranging over towards the second base bag, and he's going to be there to make the catch and retire the Cardinals here in the top of the second inning. But Hamilton adds another run on the sacrifice fly and have put themselves up 6-0 in this ball game.
Yeah, Hamilton with a big lead right now over the London Majors, 6-0 in the second inning, and we talked about it after the first. You got lots of time to try and come back in this ball game if you're the Majors, but 6-0 is not exactly a position in which you want to find yourself if you are the home squad right now. And not a bad inning from Daniel Gore. There was that one hard hit ball that was just out of the reach of Gibson Krasminski despite his best efforts over at third base that got past him in the left field for a double, and then a sacrifice fly into the right center field gap that wound up scoring the runner from third base. So not a bad inning for Gore, but down 6-0. The Majors going to be looking to turn things around here offensively against Ben Braun. Did a good job in that first inning of working out of some trouble, Noah, because in the first inning, the first 2 guys got on. Austin Wilkie with a hard single, then Keith Candell walked, but then got a pop-up, a ground out, and a fly out to end the first inning and get out of a jam. So a good job by Ben Braun so far, and they'll be looking to keep up that trend in the second inning.
Some of the best in this league, Dylan, will struggle to get out of the first inning after allowing the first to reach and then having to go through Cleveland Brownlee and then Robert Mullen right behind him. That's a tough task to do. He did a fantastic job at working through the heart of the Majors order. And his team rewarded him by putting another run up on the board in the top half of the second inning. So he's got a little bit more of a cushion here as he gets set to work in the bottom half of inning number 2. A 6-0 Hamilton lead. Over in Guelph at Hastings Stadium, it's no score in the bottom of the third inning between the Barrie Baycats and the Guelph Royals.
2 solid teams. I believe Barrie and Guelph are 3rd and 4th in the standings right now, or possibly 3rd and 5th. I know Toronto is in that mix as well, so it should be a tight contest over there, and we're hoping for a good ball game here as well if the Majors are able to come back and make things interesting.
All starts with getting that first run across, and Krasminski will lead things off here in the bottom half of inning number 2. Mentioned the righty-heavy lineup here for London in this ballgame against the lefty on the mound. Krasminski actually a switch hitter. Of course, will take his swings right-handed here. Braun ready, his delivery, hit on the ground, diving at third base. Nice play, comes up with a throw, picked out of the dirt. A nice play to start the bottom of the second inning there for the Cardinals. 1 gone.
Really good play by Petner over at third base, diving to his left, making that stop and throwing a strike over to Julian Johnson that he was able to pick out of the dirt. A good play on both ends there for the Hamilton Cardinals to get the first out of the second inning.
Big first out and an efficient first out for Braun on the mound. Pitch count a little bit higher than where he wanted it in the first inning. Now we'll get set to face Phil Whalen here with one gone in the inning. First pitch outside. 1-0 here on Whalen.
You mentioned that pitch count, Noah. That's a 2 full counts will duty. Wilkie and Candell both got to full counts on Braun, but were unable to. Actually, they both got on base and just could not come around to score.
1-0 is across for a strike. Since those first two at-bats went the distance, he's been a lot more efficient on the mound. 1-0 delivery, hit on the ground, third base. Picked up Petner to throw, a strong one, but high. Coming back down on the bag, but not in time to beat Phil Whalen coming down the line. That was a close play at first.
Good job there by Phil Whalen running down that baseline. A tough play for Julian Johnson over at first base. He leapt up, tried to come back down either on the bag or get the tag across, but Whalen touched the base before he could do either of those things, according to the first base umpire. The Majors will certainly take that. They've got a one-out base runner now in Whalen over at first base.
Ruled a hit for Phil Whalen, who finds himself on with one out here in the inning. And now Bowles will come to the plate with a man on and look to try and get something going here for the Majors. That first pitch going to miss. It's 1-0.
Good take there for Kieran Bowles, who is getting the start at second base in this one. Bowles has played 6 games so far this season for the Majors.
Move over and in safely at first is Whalen.
Not a bad move from Ben Braun out there on the mound. Just to go back to Bowles, so far this season, he's 2 for 11. For the Majors, has 3 runs batted in and 2 runs scored.
Looking to try and find his way on here. Braun checks, comes to the plate again. That one missing upstairs. 2-0 here on Bowles. Fairly quiet night at the ballpark so far. Save and accept the 6 runs the Cardinals have pushed across here in the first 2 at-bats. That one's there for a strike. Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Ben Braun getting back into the count.
You know, you talk about how quiet it is at the ballpark on a Tuesday night with a sparser crowd than usual. Do you think we see the water balloon toss, the kids running the bases, or is that saved for the Friday night and Sunday afternoon games?
It might be saved. It might be. If actually, this might be the night that we get into one of those events.
Oh boy!
Bowles will foul that one off and out of play. Count evens up at 2-2 here for Braun.
If any of our wonderful Majors staff are hearing this, Noah and I are available. Sort of.
I'll tell you what, Tuesday night, long work day, 40 degrees at the ballpark. Not a bad night to be in the water balloon toss.
That's very true. Not the night you want to run the bases.
No. Unless they're going to let you run the bases, then do the water balloon toss. Here's the pitch. Bowles hits that one on the ground. Picked up by Petner. Throw to 2 in time. Throw back to 1. Not in time to get Bowles coming down the line. So it'll be a fielder's choice. There's 2 outs here in the inning.
Good play there by Petner, Osika, and great stretch by Julian Johnson, just unable to come up with the out. That ball was hit pretty hard off the bat of Kieran Bowles into third base, and Petner had to kind of catch it with his chest a little bit. Threw a good throw over to Osika at second base, and then the throw back to Julian Johnson was not quite in time, despite Johnson's best efforts on that stretch there. So 2 away and a runner at first base for the Majors.
So Evan Simons now to the plate with 2 gone. Braun will check at first, comes to the plate, misses outside. Count moves to 1-0. Another check over and quickly back in His Bulls didn't get down in the dirt, and the tag just behind him.
Evan Simons has one hit this season for the majors. It was a double, an RBI double, I believe, as a walk and 3 strikeouts to go along with that double this year for the majors.
Bats here with 2 gone in the second inning. 1-0, fouled straight back into the screen. Count evens up at 1 apiece. That pitch was number 30 for Ben Braun here in the second inning. If he can find that third out fairly quickly, staying at a pretty decent pace here to start the ball game.
Right where you want to hover if you want to throw like 7 quality innings in a ball game, Noah.
Pitch bottom of the zone, called a strike, 1-2. Braun works himself ahead of Simons.
Not sure Simons is the biggest fan of that call, but nothing he can do about it. Home plate umpire thought it was a strike, and that's all that matters.
Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. A big cut at that breaking ball, and Ben Braun gets the strikeout to end the inning. The majors get a couple of base runners. They don't get anything on the scoreboard here in inning number 2. It is a 6-0 Hamilton lead after 2 innings complete here at the ballpark. We'll take a break. Majors TV comes back after this.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Here at EatHealthyEats.ca, we believe that a healthy diet and good nutrition shouldn't have to be sacrificed for convenience. That's why we deliver the meals to you so they're ready when you need it, even with your busy schedule. On our website, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start by picking your meals from our seasonally curated menus made from local produce. And after that, the rest is up to us. We'll cook, package, and deliver your meals right to your door twice a week. Then eat and repeat. It's that easy. EatHealthyEats.ca, from farm to folks.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Back here as we move along to the top of the third inning in London at Labatt Memorial Park. You're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV. Noah Smith, Dylan Baker up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth to bring you the action. It's a 6-0 Hamilton Cardinals lead here as we move along to inning number 3. 5 hits for the Cardinals, just 2 for the Majors so far. As we get set, and that first pitch going to be delivered for a strike to start the at-bat, 0-1. Oh, 1 delivery. Breaking ball doesn't get him to chase. Count evens up at a ball and a strike.
If you'll recall, Niles in his last trip to the plate hit a moonshot into left field to give the Cardinals an early 3-0 lead, and he'll be looking to have a similar result here if possible.
Takes a pretty good pitch, that fastball. You can tell he wanted to swing at that one, 1-2. Gore now ready on the mound. Off speed, hit on the ground, third base. High hop for Krasminski to throw across the diamond. Will be in time to retire Niles for a quick first out here to start the top of the third inning.
Good play over at third. Good play over at third base by Gibson Krasminski for the Majors. Got a high hop, weighted back, and threw a strike over to first base for the first out of the frame. Krasminski, we've talked about it on Sunday, is a very sure-handed infielder for the Majors, and I'm sure they are thankful they've got him over there. A good play by the Majors third baseman.
Lane Renault now steps into the box. His first pitch will be taken for a strike 0-1. Ever since that big 5-run first inning for the Cardinals, just some movement down in the Majors bullpen. That off-speed pitch will be fouled off, and the count moves to 0-2. No one getting loose yet.
Just a little bit of stretching down in that Majors bullpen right now. Gore at 48 pitches through 2 1/3. Renault at the plate, struck out his last time up.
Gore grabs his sign. Here's the delivery, well outside. Mullen had to block that one. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes.
It's a tough pitch to block if you're Robert Mullen. Had to dive across the plate and get into the other batter's box to get in front of that baseball. I think it caught him in the leg. I don't think it caught him in the chest protector or anything. But Mullen does a great job back there of keeping those pitches in front of him.
Mullen back ready as he delivers the sign. Now ready for the pitch is Gore. Upstairs with a heavy fastball. It's 2-2.
Tried to tempt Renault with the high fastball. Renault did not bite, and not a bad idea on 1-2. We'll see what he comes with here. Does he go back to that high pitch? Does he stay with the fastball, or maybe he tries to bury a breaking ball outside?
Ready here, the 2-2. Breaking ball off the end of the bat, foul territory, giving it a look, Simons, but this one is going to end up in the seats out of play.
That breaking ball did not quite have the depth to it that I expected it might. It kind of just stayed in the strike zone, a little bit of the lower part of the zone, and Renault was able to get a piece of that.
Daniel Gore looking for a big second out here in the 3rd inning. Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed. A big cut at that one by Lane Renault, but he's down on strikes for the second out here of the 3rd.
Really good start to this 3rd inning for Daniel Gore so far. Got a quick out of Josh Niles, and then a strikeout of Lane Renault, and now he's got to deal with Tristan Osika at the plate for Hamilton. But if Gore can kind of settle in, that certainly helps the Majors, who would like to rest as many guys as possible, I'm sure, out of that bullpen, because there was a lot of pitching on the weekend. And if Gore can go deeper into this ball game than it looked like he was on track for early on, that'd be huge for them.
This one hit into left center field, and right out front of the warning track, Austin Wilkie is over to make the catch. Osika is retired for the 3rd out, and a much better 3rd inning there for Daniel Gore as he gets the Majors back onto the bats here. It's still a 6-0 Hamilton Cardinals lead.
Yeah, Daniel Gore much more efficient in that inning, and he had a lot of success in that frame for the Majors. After a 24-pitch first inning and an 18-pitch second, he threw just 11 in that 3rd frame. So really good inning, really good work from Daniel Gore, getting a strikeout along the way as well, and hopefully he can settle in for the remainder of his outing in this ball game. And now it's up to the Majors offense to try and chip away a little bit. They got something started a little bit with the top of the order in the first inning, just could not get any runs to come across. It's that same part of the order right from the leadoff batter. Austin Wilkie will lead off this inning as the Majors try to claw their way back into this one.
Majors playing their 4th game in 5 calendar days here on this Tuesday. A makeup game from a rainout earlier on in the season. Daniel Gore had to start in the ball game, gave up 5 in the first, but has since settled in a little bit. Just 1 in the second, and then a clean top of the 3rd inning. Dylan, you can see just off your screen there some push-ups going on behind center field.
There is never a bad day to get a workout in, Noah. I love the dedication out there from Tristan Osika, the second baseman.
I didn't see what led to that, but I've seen it in the past where if you overthrow the first baseman in warm-ups, you got to get down and do push-ups, something similar to that.
Could be that.
Which would be my worst nightmare as an infielder.
Well, as a guy who plays first base on occasion, maybe I should start implementing that. Correction, Osika, I believe, has moved over to shortstop with John leaving the game, and Nathan Scragg is at second base. Majors are going to look to get a few more pitches out of the arm of Ben Braun in this 3rd frame. He's at 32 through 2 innings, through 20 in the first, and then just 12 in the 2nd inning. And that's kind of right where you want to hover. 30 pitches through 2 innings, not a bad spot to be if you're Braun. And the Majors are going to look to change that here in the third. They've got the top of the order. Good spot to do it. You start with your leadoff man, the guy that you expect to get on and kind of set the tone. He's leading off for the majors.
So ready to go here to start the bottom of inning number 3. Braun into his windup. Here's the delivery as this one's going to be hit hard into center field. Tracking back Gideon out front of the warning track on the grass to make the catch. It's a long out number 1. And a quick out number 1 for Ben Braun.
Good swing there from Austin Wilkie. He put that ball pretty deep into center field. Gideon raced after it in the right center field gap, was able to make the grab on the run. So a good play by the Hamilton Cardinals center fielder and a good swing by Austin Wilkie, who has hit the ball hard in both of his trips to the plate so far. Had a single last time and this time just finds the glove of the center fielder.
So Keith Candell will step up to the plate here. Drew a walk his first time around. First pitch to him is going to miss, and the count now 1-0. These Majors and Cardinals will meet again over the weekend on Sunday in Hamilton. Majors once again with another busy weekend, 3 games in 3 days. They're here on Friday night as this one's hit on the ground, and that one will get into left field. Keith Candell stays hot with a base hit here in the 3rd inning.
Candell now 1 for 1 on the day, walked in his first plate appearance, and right there gets on base again, this time with a single. So a good job by Keith Candell. Continues his hot streak that he's been on of late, and that's so huge for the Majors. If you can have another bat rolling, that's going to be big for your offense. And Candell hitting .333 coming into this game at 16 for 48, now 17 for 49.
So Cleveland Brownlee steps up to the box and ready to go with 1 gone. Lefty on the mound makes it tough, Dylan, but do you ever think about putting Keith Candell in motion here?
No, I'm always thinking about putting Keith Candell in motion. If he's on the base paths and he's got that speed, he can certainly be on the move for the Majors, and we'll see if you employ that. I don't know if you do it with Cleveland Brownlee at the plate in less than 2 out.
You don't want to take the bat out of Cleve's hands.
Yeah, if it's a different spot, maybe you think about getting Candell on the move. He's a guy who's typically pretty good at reading the pickoff moves from the pitchers, but with Brownlee at the plate, I don't know if you want him to run.
They checked on the swing of Brownlee. He doesn't go around. Count now a 1-1. Trailing by 6 here. You don't want to take away any potential runs on the base pass, especially when you're going through the heart of the order, guys that can hit the cover off the ball. Brownlee on the ground, and this one's going to be into center field. Candell with a big round, but he's going to be held up at second base, got to it quick. And Cleveland Brownlee has a base hit here in the 3rd.
Cleveland got a good piece of lumber on that baseball, driving it on the ground up into center field. A good job by Cleve staying on that pitch from Ben Braun and getting himself a base hit. So now we got 2 guys on in this bottom of the 3rd inning, similar to what we saw in the first for the Majors, where the top of the order got 2 guys on. They could not score in that first frame, and so the Majors are going to be looking to have things work out a little bit differently in this one.
Brownlee on first, Candell at second, and now Robert Mullen look to try and bring in a run here for the Majors, trying to chip away at this 6-run deficit. Oh, that's going to do it. Robert Mullen has left the yard, and he's done it in a hurry. 3-run shot for Mullen. Cuts the lead in half. It's 6-3.
No, we talked about with Cleveland Brownlee at the plate how maybe you don't put Keith Candell in motion just because you don't want to take at-bats away from these big hitters. And right there, that's why. Because Robert Mullen is a guy who can put 3 runs on the board with 1 swing of the bat, and he did that in 3 seconds flat. Like, Robert Mullen absolutely destroyed that baseball on a line well over the left field fence. So a tremendous job by Mullen there, getting 3 runs home, and all of a sudden that lead is cut in half for the Hamilton Cardinals. It's a brand new ball game. The life is kind of brought back into this crowd a little bit. Just a fantastic job by Mullen on that swing. He hit the cover off of that baseball.
Right fielder, number 7, Starling Joseph.
Number 6 on the season for Robert Mullen. And the Majors back within 3 now after the 3-run shot. Joseph on the ground. Nice pickup. Throw from third, and that one's going to go wide of first base. Joseph's going to round in head to 2, and he'll be in with a little bit of a fall at second base. Didn't look pretty. Hopefully he's all right.
I think he got his cleat caught as he was coming into second base there or something. Not too sure what happened to Starling Joseph on that last play, but he is into second base with a thump. Looks like he's all right and will stay in the game, but definitely an awkward way to go into second base. We got a great look at that on the camera. Maybe we submit that to Misplays of the Month or something. But Joseph is aboard now at second base in scoring position after the error.
So that'll put a runner in scoring position here with 1 gone as Gibson Krasminski will step to the plate. Seeing if the Majors can add on a few more runs here in the bottom of the 3rd. This one hit left center field, dropping in a hurry, and that one is going to drop in front of the center fielder coming over. Joseph read it well, and he gets up to third base on the base hit. And the Majors have runners at the corners with 1 gone.
One thing on that last play, if we can draw your attention to it here, we'll try to get that on our camera on that last play. As that's looped into the air, Tristan Osika, the shortstop, acted as if he was going to catch that baseball. He was trying to decoy Joseph into getting back to the base and not moving up. He was throwing his hands in the air as well, trying to block his view. Just the little things trying to beat your man out there, but Joseph was able to move up to third base nonetheless on the little looper into shallow left center.
This will get a mound visit as the Cardinals now running into a little bit of trouble themselves here in the bottom of inning number 3.
Message right now has to just be to Ben Braun, calm down in this spot. He's got 1 out in the inning, a good ground ball, well-located pitch can get you a double play and get you out of this frame if you're the Hamilton Cardinals, and obviously that's the goal at the moment, but you've got to settle in. You've got to realize this is the bottom of the Majors order. Phil Whalen, definitely not a guy who you can take lightly, but it is the bottom of the order. It's perhaps more favorable for Ben Braun. You've got to take advantage of that and see if you can locate a pitch well enough to get a ball on the ground that will get you 2 outs and get you out of this inning.
Bottom of the Majors order, looking to see if they can do some damage. Try and put something in play here and keep it off the ground out of the middle. Oh, that's going to be right where it's hit. Second base, flip to 2, throw back to 1. Oh, and he's safe at first. A bang-bang play, diving in, and that'll score a run.
Wow. Love the effort from Phil Whalen. We'll get a good look at it on the replay here. Ground ball to second base. Scrag over to Osika. A good turn, and then Whalen dives into first base safely. I think that's the right call from the first base umpire. A tight play over at first base. Noah, so often we will see a first base umpire call the runner out at first base if he dives just because he dove. Just because that's something you don't see very often. It's something you're told from a young age that you probably shouldn't do. But right there, the first base umpire thought, Whalen is safe, so I'm going to call him safe. And good on him making that call. Looked like it was a close play over at first. Could have gone either way. And Whalen reaches, another run scores for the Majors. Now it's a 2-run game.
The reason why a lot of umpires don't like when you dive into first is because it makes a mess of the play. It does make it a little bit tougher to read the safe out. That one's going to get through the legs of the catcher into the backstop, rounding second hard, but holding there. And into scoring position now. As I was saying, it makes it tough to make that call at first base when the runner dives, especially when you're not expecting it, like on a play like that. It was a bang-bang play.
Definitely makes it tough. You got the cloud of dust. You try to locate the hand, but if you thought Whalen got in there, I guess Whalen was safe on that play, and now the ball to the backstop gets him into scoring position.
Now Bowles will take that pitch inside.
You can see Braun getting a little bit frustrated out there on the mound. I think most of the Cardinals thought Whalen was out on that dive over at first base, so Julian Johnson went and talked to his pitcher after that play, trying to calm him down, and doesn't look like it's worked so far, but maybe Braun can settle in this plate appearance. Behind 2-0 in the count.
2-0. Ripped into left field by Bowles. They're going to send the runner from second, coming up, throwing from the outfield, and it's cut off. It's a one-run ball game.
Boy, oh boy, that hustle from Phil Whalen sure looks clutch now, doesn't it, Noah? As that hard ground ball from Kieran Bowles goes into left field. The left fielder comes up throwing, and Whalen is able to come in to score. Casey David pull him over at third base. No hesitation, sent him all the way home, and Whalen comes in to score for the London Majors. 6-5 ball game. Majors trail by 1 in this one now. There's a runner at first with 2 away. It'll be another mound visit for the Cardinals. They try to calm down Ben Braun. The whole infield will come in on this one, trying to get their pitcher to settle in.
Making sure that they're all on the same page. Majors getting back within a run here in the third inning after 5 big runs coming across of their own. And now Evan Simons will come to the plate as the big inning for London continues. They saw what Hamilton did in the first, and they said, hey, we can do that as well. Oh, and now there's been an ejection over on the Hamilton sideline. The first base umpire has tossed someone. I'm not sure who.
Hard to tell from here, Noah, but a good look on that camera of the argument right now. And I think the Cardinals are upset with that dive call over at first base. They thought the runner was out, Phil Whalen. First base umpire said otherwise, and the Cardinals believe that's the reason that this inning has turned out the way it has right now. And so they are arguing this call at the moment. I can't really tell which coach that is for Hamilton, but they are upset, and they're going to let the first base umpire hear a piece of their mind before heading back to the clubhouse. Excuse me.
There was a play at first base early on in the ball game where Gideon was called out. He threw his helmet, and from then on, you could sense the disapproval of the umpiring, if you will, at first base from the Hamilton Cardinals, and their bench situated no more than 50 feet from where he stands. It was a little bit after that last play where we saw the ejection.
Yeah, it took a little bit of chirping from that dugout. I'm sure the first base umpire said, hey, watch it, that's enough. And then once the arguing persisted from the bench, that was it. And the coach was thrown out of the ball game.
So we'll try to see who that was that got ejected if we can. Believe it was a member of the coaching staff, but it's tough to make out from up here.
It might have been a player, Noah. I believe a coach went out to argue, but whoever it is still standing on the bench at the moment.
That pitch is there for a strike to start the at-bat here to Evan Simons. Majors have put 5 runs up on the board here in the bottom of the third. This one ripped but foul, third base side, and the count moves to 0-2.
Good job by Simons fighting off that tough pitch there. Now he's got 0-2, an 0-2 count. Still a runner on base, still a chance to drive a run home if he can put a ball deep enough into the gap to score the runner from first base, Bowles. But he's going to have to fight here on 0-2.
Pitch just off the plate on 0-2. Count moves to 1-2, and now they'll get a new ball. Action now in the Hamilton bullpen as they have a righty warming up. One of the cons of stacking the lineup with righties with the lefty on the mound is that if they go to the bullpen, and now flips the script. This one hit off the end of the bat into center field. Underneath it, Gideon, and he's there to make the catch and record the out to end the third inning. But the Majors have made it a ball game once again. 5 runs here in the bottom of the third. to make it a 6-5 Hamilton lead through 3 innings complete here at the ballpark. You're watching London Majors Baseball on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Back here inside of Labatt Memorial Park, we move along to the top of the 4th inning. And Dylan, the kids just ran the bases here as they do at the end of every 3rd inning. There was 3 of them.
There were 3 kids,
3 kids out there, and I think we might have had our chance to get into some of the games here at Labatt Park. That was probably our chance to break in.
No, I'm still a kid. I'm still going to hold that, and I'm still a kid, and I asked you, I said, should I go down and run these bases? And you told me no. You shut down the idea very quickly.
I think you underestimate how short or how long of a run it is just to get down from the press box to the field.
I think you underestimate my speed, Noah. I think that's what's happening
I don't think that's the case. By the time you got down there, they would have been touching home plate. Then you would have been running on your own.
Well, you know what? I think I could have made it. I think I could have made it back in time before our commercials ended up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth at Labatt Park. I think I could have gotten down there in good time. But I guess we'll never know.
Back out here to start the top of inning number 4. Daniel Gore back out onto the mound here. Got to be feeling a whole lot better now that he is no longer down 6 runs in the ball game, just down a run. And we'll see if he can continue on. He looks a whole lot more comfortable as that first pitch breaking ball drops in for a strike 0-1.
Yeah, good pitch there from Daniel Gore, dropping in that curve ball right there on Julian Johnson. And like you mentioned, Noah, it was a swing and a miss from Johnson there on that breaking pitch. He looks more settled in right now. He knows that the offense can make up a deficit if he does get himself into one, and early in the ball game he did. But doing a good job right now, and is that a good past couple of innings?
Looking to try and get through a big top of the 4th. After his team got some runs on the board, we do have some action down in the London Majors bullpen as well. Looks like Fernando Fernandez throwing.
I believe so, Noah. That is Fernando Fernandez out in the Majors bullpen.
1-2 coming here from Gore. Off speed and a good one. Swung on and missed. Johnson's down on strikes for the first down of the inning.
Get a look at it on your screen there. That is Fernando Fernandez loosening up for the London Majors. Good job by Daniel Gore on that last at-bat for Julian Johnson. He got ahead early with the breaking ball, then threw him another one to see if he'd bite, and he did. So he went right back to that same well. Threw one that missed outside. It was a little further out. Got past Robert Mullen, and Johnson was able to lay off of that one, but came right back with a breaking ball and got the swing and a miss that he was looking for.
Into center field, underneath it. And on the first pitch of the at-bat, it'll be a quick second out here. His score's really settled in the top of the 4th.
Settled in the top of the 3rd as well, Noah. Daniel Gore's kind of been more efficient and looked more confident out there on the mound. Only 11 pitches thrown in that 3rd inning at 5 right now in this 4th. Going to look to have another quick inning with the bottom of the order due up. It's what you got to do. You got to get through the bottom of the order as quickly as possible and then deal with the top in due time. But Gore's looking really good out there right now.
Two gone here in the 4th. Squaring around, but then pulling back as that one's called a strike.
Not a bad pitch to bunt on, actually, no, on the outside corner there. Petner just didn't think it was for him, so he pulled the bat back and got called for a strike anyway.
Now that pitch going to miss low, 1-1 here on Petner.
No, with a guy like Gore out there on the mound, a guy who's not typically a starter for the majors, or at least hasn't been this season, you wonder how long he's stretched out to. So no real surprise that we see some action in that majors bullpen, because we're not too sure what the pitch limit is on Daniel Gore tonight.
Ready to go on the 1-1 delivery. Off the plate. Petner will take that one outside. Petner's 1 for 1 today. Hit a double down the left field line his first time around.
Gibson Kursminski almost came up with that over at third base. He dove and just out of his reach.
Pitch from Gore off the plate on 2-1. 3 balls and a strike now on Petner.
Hasn't quite been able to find his spot with the fastball right now, Noah, in this plate appearance. He'll look to locate it a little bit better on 3-1 now. He's got to claw his way back in the count.
And that one's going to miss outside again. So he'll walk the 9-hitter Petner, and that will bring back up the top of the Hamilton Cardinals order. It would have been a big third out there before turning the lineup over, and now you've got to face Justin Gideon here with 2 gone in the inning.
With Justin Gideon coming up to the plate and a runner on base, it looks like Roop Chanderdat's going to make his way out to the mound. We'll see if that's the end of the line for Gore, or if Chanderdat is going to give him a little pep talk, see if he can get Gideon out. But you mentioned it, Noah. It would have been a really big out if he was able to retire the bottom of the order and then start fresh with Gideon in the top of the 5th inning. So I'm curious to see what Roop has in mind right now. It looks like he's going to talk to his pitcher at least first and go from there. But Gideon definitely a tough guy at the plate. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game today. In his first trip to the plate, he blooped a single into center field and then grounded out to first base last time on what was a bang-bang play. That was the one you were referring to earlier when the ejection took place. You said that the Cardinals weren't happy. Gideon threw his helmet. That was the play. A bang-bang play over at first base. Simons got back in time, according to the first base umpire. So Gideon has almost been on twice. He's been on once, and so it's going to be a big at-bat right here for Gore to get through. And I would imagine the leash is pretty short right now for Daniel Gore with a big power lefty at the plate.
Roop Chanderdat elects to keep his starter in the ball game here after the mound visit. 2 gone in the top of the 4th inning. Pitch is going to be inside. Gideon gets out of the way of that one. Mullen's able to stop it from going to the backstop. 1-0.
Good job by Robert Mullen keeping that ball in front of him. Could have been dangerous there if it got back to the backstop.
They're going to throw over and check on Petner, who didn't have a big lead over at first.
He seemed eager to run on that pitch in the dirt, but that's because it's a pitch in the dirt, and you're hoping to take a base any way you can. So not a bad idea for Gore to just check.
1-0. Big swing and a miss from Gideon. Count out a ball and a strike now here. Hamilton center fielder. Gore takes his time, but now grabs his sign. Here's the 1-1. Fouled straight back into the screen. A ball and 2 strikes on Gideon now with 2 outs in the inning.
Good battle right now between Gore and Gideon out there on the mound and at the plate. We'll see who's able to win this battle as Gore tries to finish him off.
Ready here on the 1-2. Mullen sets up on the outside part of the plate. Gideon looked for time, doesn't get it, and he's rung up on strike 3. And a big punch out there for Daniel Gore to get through the top of inning number 4 cleanly.
That's a good strikeout for Daniel Gore. Located his pitch very well on the outside part of the plate, and that's tough for Justin Gideon. I do feel for him as a guy who has tried to call time in the past and not been able to do so. Gore held onto that baseball for a very long time out there on the mound, trying to vary his timing, trying to mess with the timing of the hitter and the base runner. That's something we'll often see guys do, but most of the time the hitter calls time just to switch things up, just to end things right there so the hitter doesn't have to wait in limbo. And right there, Gideon tried to throw his arm up for time, and it was a little bit late. I don't blame the umpire for not granting him time right there. Gore was about to throw that baseball, and it did make sense, although it did kind of suck for Justin Gideon. It was called strike 3 just simply because it was too late to call time.
Gore took quite a while after he grabbed his sign and came set on the mound to deliver to the plate, and I'm actually surprised that Gideon didn't try to call time earlier on. He's a guy that's usually on that pretty good. But he's down on strikes.
We've got a new arm out there for the Hamilton Cardinals right now, and we're trying to figure out who that is. I believe it's Wes Markle, number 29 for the Cardinals. That's what it looks like from up here. A little bit tough to tell from our point of view in the press box. We don't have an angle on that first base side to show you his back right now.
Do our
Wes
best
Markle
here.
Officially announcing the ball game.
So they elect to go to the bullpen here to start the bottom of inning number 4. That ends the book on the starter. Ben Braun goes 3 innings, gave up 5 runs in the bottom of inning number 3.
Only 3 of those runs were earned, Noah. There was an error in there as well from third baseman Sam Petner. So 3 of those runs are earned. He walked 1, he struck out 1, allowed 7 hits in his 3 innings of work.
So it's a bullpen ball game here for the Cardinals. Majors likely not far behind them as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning here in London. A 6-5 Hamilton lead. They scored 5 runs in the first, a lone run in the second, and zeros on the board since. The Majors, 5 runs, they just came in the last inning, the bottom of the 3rd, and they're going to look to continue on and battle their way back to a tie ball game here, 6-5 in the bottom of the 4th.
Good spot to do it. Top of the order starting off this inning just like they were starting off the last. 9 guys came to the plate in the last inning for the London Majors when they scored 5 runs, and now Wilkie will lead things off again here in the bottom of the 4th. He singled in his first trip to the plate and hit a deep fly ball that Justin Gideon tracked down very nicely in center field last time.
Pitch missing inside. Markle falls behind 1-0. Wilkie was the first out of the last inning. The Majors put up those 5 runs after having the first man get out on a fly out. 1-0 delivery off the plate, 2-0.
Wilkie's been patient in his 2 trips to the plate so far in this ball game. He got a full count in that first inning and then was able to take a few tough pitches in his last trip to the plate before flying out to center field. Again, right here, takes 2 pitches out of the zone to start his plate appearance.
That 2-0 catches the outside edge. Great job by Markle to battle his way back into the count. Didn't want to fall behind 3-0 there.
Home plate umpire thought about maybe not giving that call. A bit of a delayed strike call just because of the movement from the catcher, but granted the strike to Markle.
Wilkie off the end of the bat, right field. Underneath it, and the first out there off the bat of Wilkie, and there's one gone.
Good pitch there from Wes Markle on the outside part of the plate, getting Wilkie to hit that off the end of the bat and just sky one into right field. A routine play for Duncan out there for a good first out in this bottom of the 4th inning.
Keith Candell now will come to the plate. He's walked and also got a base hit so far in the ballgame. Markle grabs his sign. Now the first pitch delivered to Candell is going to miss, although not by much on the outer corner, 1-0. Candell fouled straight back into the screen. Evens up at 1-1.
That first pitch that Candell took, a tough take on the outside part of the plate, but when you're seeing the ball well, you're seeing the ball well, and Candell was able to take ball 1.
Markle grabs his sign. Big leg kick from the righty, and it's going to miss well outside on the 1-1 pitch.
Markle takes his time when he's out there on the mound, likes to make sure he's got the right pitch in mind, he's got the right mindset for it, and he's ready to go before he delivers it.
Upstairs to Candell. 3 balls and a strike now. Looking to try and have himself a clean first inning coming into the ball game here. He's got his first out. Now he's fallen behind 3-1. That one's going to miss upstairs, and Candell will take the walk. And he finds himself on base for the 3rd time in the ball game.
It's Candell's 2nd walk of the game as well, Noah. He had a walk in that first inning. He singled the next time up and then walks here again. So gets on base just like he did the last inning for Cleveland Brownlee.
Cleveland Brownlee will now come to the plate after Keith Candell reached base. And all the worth shouting out, Dylan. We've been told this is IBL game number 300 for Keith Candell.
Big milestone for major shortstop Keith Candell. So a big congrats to Keith. He's always been so great with us up here in the booth. And a big milestone for the major shortstop.
300 career games, 3 times on base tonight. Here's the pitch to Brownlee. Big cut at that one. And it's 0-1.
Looked like Markle put a little extra on that fastball, was able to blow it past Cleveland Brownlee for the first strike.
Keith at first. His lead at the cut of the grass. Angled slightly towards second. And he's going to be off on the pitch. Upstairs. Good one to throw on. Down to 2, but Candell is in safely at second with a stolen base to move him into scoring position.
Good job by Keith Candell taking second base if they were going to give it to him right there. A stolen base puts him in scoring position for Cleveland Brownlee with 1 out. Good call there by the majors. Candell nearly, if there was a pickoff move, he would have likely been caught because he did jump towards second base and then went back and then was ready to go once the pitch was delivered. He almost broke a little bit too early, but is able to get himself into scoring position for the majors.
Brownlee, big cut at that one, and it's fouled off. Looks like it got the catcher a little bit on the way by. 1-2 in favor of the Cardinals righty out of the bullpen.
Got a big piece of the catcher back there on that foul ball from Cleveland Brownlee. Got him right in the masks. The home plate umpire, as a courtesy, will take his time. We walk the ball back out to the pitcher on the mound and dust off the plate to give him an extra second back there. I know from experience it's not a pleasant time when you get hit by a foul ball, especially from a guy who's got the power of Cleveland Brownlee right in the mask.
Looks like he's ready to go, and we'll get set to deliver the sign here on 1-2 on the major's designated hitter. Keith Candell stands in scoring position after the walk and the stolen base. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Brownlee. Popped up, but out of play, foul. And we'll redo the 1-2.
Good battle being put on by Cleveland right now. It was 1 for 2 in the ball game today as a guy in scoring position. Boy, oh boy, you know he'd love to cash him right here and get on base for the man right after him, Robert Mullen.
And this will get a quick visit out to the mound by Muir. Talk things over.
Trying to figure out what they want to go with here on 1-2 to Cleveland Brownlee. Brownlee doing a good job of fighting it right now. 2 straight foul balls after the stolen base. And Cleveland going to look to come up big here for his team on the 1-2 count. A lot of different options you can go with to Brownlee, and Cleve's got to be ready for all of them.
Ready to go. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Brownlee. This one hit in the air, left field. Not deep, coming on, and the catch made in shallow left center for the second out of the inning.
Got up and in there on Cleveland Brownlee. Couldn't get much on that swing as it just got looped into shallow left center, and Justin Gideon came on to make that catch for the second out of the inning. So now it'll be up to Robert Mullen to cash the runner from second base. Majors are by no means out of scoring this run yet. With Mullen at the plate, a guy who is up there and runs batted in for the IBL. He's now second in home runs after he hit his 6th. One back of his teammate Cleveland Brownlee for the league lead. So we'll see what Mullen can do here.
Mullen, of course, the big shot of the ball game for the majors so far. His 6th home run of the season to deep left field, and now he's got a runner in scoring position here. Pitch from Markle, going to be up in the zone, missing for ball 1, 1-0. Markle grabs his sign once more. 2-0 here as we move along here. Bottom of the fourth inning in London on this Tuesday night.
Good take from Mullen there on that pitch inside. Nearly caught the inside part of the plate, but just did miss.
Good curveball. That one actually looked in a pretty good spot. Doesn't get the call from the umpire, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, the catcher, Aiden Muir, kind of caught that a little bit awkwardly, and at times that's enough to deter the umpire from calling that pitch a strike. 3-0, a great hitter's count for Robert Mullen right now.
And time called at the plate. Markle just took too much time there. Still lead at second by Keith Candell in scoring position. 3-0 delivery now. Mullen will take that one off the plate. Ball 4, and he'll find his way on here with 2 outs.
Good take there by Robert Mullen. Notice that pitch missed off the plate outside and was able to take it for ball 4. So 2 guys on now with 2 out in the inning. And the Majors putting themselves in a pretty good spot, minus the fact there are 2 away in this frame to try and cash in the tying run.
The right fielder, number 7, Starling Joseph.
So Starling Joseph will come to the plate with a couple of guys on. And once again, we'll get another visit out to the mound from the catcher. Try and calm down his young righty. Tough at-bat there. 4-pitch walk to Robert Mullen, but 2 out of those 4 at least were pretty close.
That's about the least damage that Robert Mullen can do to you as well. He's a guy who can take a ball absolutely yard, as he did in his last time at the plate. So not a bad outcome to walk him, though as you mentioned, a few of those pitches were pretty close to being strikes.
Joseph on the ground, hard at third base, picked up, stepped on, and that will do it for the bottom of inning number 4. The Majors get a couple of runners on, but they're unable to bring them home, and they go scoreless here in the 4th inning. 5th inning coming up here from Labatt Memorial Park. It's the Hamilton Cardinals 6, the Majors 5 on Majors TV.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Here at EatHealthyEats.ca, we believe that a healthy diet and good nutrition shouldn't have to be sacrificed for convenience. That's why we deliver the meals to you so they're ready when you need it, even with your busy schedule. On our website, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start by picking your meals from our seasonally curated menus made from local produce. And after that, the rest is up to us. We'll cook, package, and deliver your meals right to your door twice a week. Then eat and repeat. It's that easy. EatHealthyEats.ca, from farm to folks.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Back inside Labatt Memorial Park here as we go to inning number 5. And the London Majors still trailing now just by a run here as they have brought it within 1 here against the Cardinals. 5 runs on 7 hits for London in the ballgame. 6 on 5 hits and 1 error for the Hamilton Cardinals as we move along to inning number 5. Daniel Gore still on the mound here for the Majors. Looks like they'll continue with the righty, at least here to start the 5th inning of work. One other game going on in the IBL this evening. The Barrie Baycats are in Guelph to take on the Guelph Royals. It is the bottom of the 6th, and Guelph has a 2-1 lead over the Baycats as we speak here in London. 6-5, the Cardinals leading. Bulk of their runs coming in the very first inning, top of inning number 1. They put 5 runs across on 2 long balls. Added another run in the top half of inning number 2, but since then, back-to-back scoreless innings for Daniel Gore. Now he's back out there to start inning number 5. This one's going to be ripped but foul down towards the Majors bullpen. Gore gets ahead 0-1, and now he grabs his sign, gets ready to deliver. Off-speed pitch, going to miss low and outside. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. One delivery from Gore. This one ripped as well. Fouled off by Scragg into the Majors bullpen. So the count moves in favor of Daniel Gore, 1-2. Looking to try and get the out here to start the 5th inning. Now we'll wait and grab a sign again, once again from Robert Mullen. Pitch to the plate well outside. Mullen had to keep that one, picking it up out of the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gore now to the plate. Called strike 3. Stragg's looking at a fastball on the outside corner. And it's a big punch out to start the 5th inning of work for Daniel Gore.
Good job there by Gore on that last pitch to Nathan Scragg, who had a sacrifice fly his last time up, finding the outside corner and able to get a called strike 3 for the first out at the top of the 5th.
So continuing to work well here, and he's got his first out on a strikeout to start the 5th inning. Now he gets ahead 0-1. Duncan's 0 for 1 in the ball game so far. Pitch just missing. Nice location there from Gore. Doesn't get the call. It's 1-1.
Not a bad spot there from Daniel Gore, nearly getting the bottom of the strike zone on Duncan. Does not get the call from the home plate umpire, nor does he get a chase from the man at the plate.
On the ground, off the end of the bat at third. Krasminski, strong throw, and he's not going to be there in time. Couldn't get the pick from Simons, but it looked like it was going to be beat out anyways by Duncan for an infield single.
Good effort there from Gibson. Krasminski over at third base, getting that ball down the line, playing it on the backhand. And like you mentioned, the ball did come loose out of the glove of Evan Simons, but it looked like the runner, Duncan, was going to be safe over at first base nonetheless.
So the Cardinals have a base runner here with 1 gone to start the 5th inning. Duncan will take his lead as he's checked on by Gore. And a pickoff move will have him diving back to first.
Not a bad move there from Daniel Gore on that pickoff, but step and a dive away from the bag. Duncan's able to get back.
Pretty quick to first if he can get the throw down on the money there. Might have had a shot. First pitch delivery here to Niles. This one hit over to second base, picked up. Quick throw to 1. They're not going to have him. So it's a line out and a second out of the inning for Daniel Gore.
Good play there by Kieran Bowles over at second base, getting that lightly hit line drive and firing over to first just in case, but Duncan was able to get back in time. I thought for a moment they might have had a shot at doubling him off, but he was able to scramble back to the bag.
And Simons as well looked like he struggled to get his footing at first base. To be in a good spot to catch that ball. Pickoff move, he's out front of the bag. He had to move to the back half of the bag to be able to catch that one. Now this is hit on the ground over to shortstop Candell. The bull is at 2. And it's a force out to end the top half of the 5th inning. So Daniel Gore has settled down here. 3 straight scoreless innings. has the Majors heading to the bats in the bottom of inning number 5, still down a run.
No, if you erase that first inning for Daniel Gore, he's looked really good in this ball game. Aside from that first frame where he allowed the 5 runs and the 2 long home runs, Gore has been very good for the Majors out there on the mound in this start. He's kept the pitch count low in his last few innings after working a little bit harder than I'm sure he would have liked early, with 24 pitches in the first, 18 in the second, and then 11, 14, and 10 in his last 3. He's been efficient. He's been throwing strikes. And that breaking ball seems to be getting better with time. Right there on that last play where Alain Renaud grounded into a fielder's choice. It was a breaking ball out of the hand of Daniel Gore. It had good bite to it, and Renaud got it off the end of the bat and just dribbled it over to shortstop, where Candel was able to make an easy play on the fielder's choice.
And whether or not it was entirely out of necessity or the decision by Roop Chanardat and pitching coach Brent Wales to keep their starter into the game after giving up 6 runs in the first 2 innings, he's shown that he can settle down. He's shown that if given the opportunity, he could be out here again to start another ball game.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, besides that first inning, he's looked really good. And if the Majors need a spot starter, I think Daniel Gore has proven that he can do the job.
He's through 5 innings right now. The Majors still trailing by just the 1 run now, 6-5, as we get set for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Sun beginning to find its way down behind the grandstand as darkness falls upon us here at Labatt Park. I am hard-pressed to say it has cooled maybe a little bit here in London. It sure doesn't feel like it's still very warm.
Maybe is the operative word in that sentence, no. It's not cooled down that much, but I agree with you, it has probably cooled down a little bit.
It's about 30-31 with it feeling like 34 right now. We've dropped maybe a couple degrees since first pitch.
And what did you say it was right now, Noah? Feels like 34?
27 feels like 34 in London right now.
We're celebrating that it's dropped a few degrees.
I believe it was the actual temperature was up close to 35 when we started the ball game.
Boy.
So maybe it has dropped a fair amount. But at 27, you're still feeling it out there on the field. First pitch is going to be there for a strike to what is now the Majors' only left-handed bat in the lineup.
They've got some left-handed options on the bench. We'll see if Roop Chanardat elects to go to them. Jacob Newton is on the bench for the Majors. Chris McQueen is on the bench as well. We've got some action in the Hamilton Cardinals bullpen.
Big cut there from Krasminski, and he falls behind 0-2. It doesn't look like it's anyone warming up to come into the ball game yet, possibly getting loose to come in defensively.
Yeah, just a little bit of throwing right now in that bullpen, just a mini game of catch.
Markle grabs his sign. The 0-2 delivery is going to be fouled off at the plate. Keeps the count at 0-2. One thing missing from the ball game here tonight, we've talked about the weather and the heat that's moved through the area. No breeze in the ballpark. The flag atop the Labatt Park scoreboard just sitting there as that pitch goes upstairs to Krasminski, 1-2.
Yeah, no, last week we had a very hot day just like this one on the Wednesday, and with the breeze it wasn't that bad, but because at the time where there was no breeze, it was very hot. And that's the case once again here tonight. Briefly before the game, there was a bit of a breeze, and that was nice, but not anymore.
1-2. This one hit on the ground over towards first base. Julian Johnson throws to the pitcher covering, and Markle's going to step on the bag for the first out of the inning.
Good play over there by Johnson and Markle. We've talked before on the broadcast about how tough that can be at times, making that play over at first base just because of the timing of it all, but well executed by the Hamilton Cardinals.
So Phil Whalen will come to the plate. 1 for 2 in this evening's ball game. Now we'll be tasked with trying to start things for the Majors here at the bottom of the 5th inning with 1 gone. Markle's first pitch missing inside, maybe mid up as well, 1-0.
Whalen in this ball game so far singled in his first trip to the plate and then grounded into that fielder's choice where he dove into first and drove home a run.
Another pitch missing, 2-0. Markle came in relief last inning for the Cardinals. Had a scoreless bottom of the fourth. Whalen fouled off and out of play.
Good job by Phil Whalen right now, fouling off the only pitch he's seen in the strike zone and taking the previous two, which both missed. Doing a good job at the plate for the Majors, looking to start a rally perhaps with one away in this bottom of the fifth inning.
Markle now on 2-1. That one's going to slip out of his hand over top of everyone.
Nothing worse as a pitcher than a breaking ball that just slips right out of your hand and goes towards the head of the batter. You feel bad out there on the mound that you almost hit the batter in the head, but nothing you can do about it. Just didn't have the right grip on that pitch.
Ready for a 3-1 here is Markle. Off the plate, it's going to be ball 4. And a 1-out walk to Phil Whalen. We'll have the Majors a base runner here in the bottom of inning number 5.
Whalen has been on base all 3 times that he's come to the plate. A single, a fielder's choice, and now a walk. So he's been doing a good job of getting aboard and trying to set the table for the guys after him. And he's hoping to do that once again here.
So Kieran Bowles, who's also had a pretty good night so far, 1 for 2. And ready to go here in the bottom half of the 5th with a runner on. Pitch off the plate, so he'll get ahead in the count 1-0. Markle checking on Whalen over at first. Doesn't have a huge lead. Certainly probably not even within diving distance of the bag. Pitches upstairs to Bowles, 2-0.
Not a threatening lead by any means over at first base for Phil Whalen. He could easily get back to the bag if there is a move over to first base, just a couple of steps. Looks like we've got a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle for the Majors if it gets to Jacob Newton in this inning, which right now it's on pace to do.
2-0 to Bowles, off the plate as well.
Few oohs and ahs after that last pitch from Markle. Just missed the plate according to the home plate umpire, so Bowles doing a good job working the count right now.
Was asking the umpire there where that one was missing. If it was outside, the umpire nodded his head in agreement. Here's the 3-0. That one's going to miss well outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk by Markle. Bowles will take his base. We will get a pinch hitter, but first we'll have a mound visit from the Hamilton Cardinals coaching staff with 1 gone in the inning.
So Jacob Newton comes into the ball game to replace Evan Simon. So far in his time as a London Major, which began on June 3rd against the Toronto Maple Leafs, Jacob Newton is hitting .200. He's 5 for 25 in his Intercounty Baseball League career to this point. He's got a double, he's got an RBI, and he's got 7 runs scored, which is why the Majors often will hit Newton at the top of the batting order because he's got the ability to get on base. He's got 3 walks and just 2 strikeouts this season and scored 7 runs. He comes around to score when those big guys behind him are able to drive him home. So right now he steps up to the plate in an RBI spot. With just 1 of the year, he's going to be looking to add to that total with a runner in scoring position.
So with 1 gone, the Majors go to the bench for a pinch hitter, bringing in the lefty bat, Jacob Newton. Tying run has found its way into scoring position now at second base, represented by Phil Whalen. First pitch to Newton, just on the outer edge, called a strike, so he falls behind 0-1.
Good pitch there from Markle, hitting the inside part of the plate on Newton.
Markle checks back at 2. Now his delivery. Newton on the ground. That one's going to get into right field. Bowles had to dodge it on his way to 2. Coming in to score is Phil Whalen. And off the bench, Jacob Newton has tied the ball game at 6 apiece.
Jacob Newton does exactly what he was asked to do, coming off the bench to pinch hit for Evan Simons. He rips a single between the first baseman and second baseman into right field. Phil Whalen scores easily. It's Whalen's second run scored of the ball game in this one, and Newton delivers in a big spot.
So back to the top of this London Majors order, Austin Wilkie. And now we'll get a pinch runner as Kieran Bowles will be lifted for Chris McQueen.
So a good game by Kieran Bowles. Had a single in this ball game, drew a walk, which extended this inning, and now he gives way to Chris McQueen to take his spot over at second base. A little bit more speed. The go-ahead run is in scoring position.
0-1. They're going to pick off back to second base with McQueen coming in. They know he can run.
On that last play, Nathan Scragg dashed in from second base, but Wes Markle didn't pick up on that cue for a little while, and so Scragg kind of took a step back towards his position when Markle spun around, and luckily that ball didn't go into center field, but McQueen was back safely.
Pitch. Hammered to left field. That one's crushed to left field and gone. Long shot from Austin Wilkie into the trees. And the Majors hop out in front on the long shot.
Look out in the river. Austin Wilkie with an absolute moonshot for the Majors to give them a 9-6 lead. He launched that baseball, and you got to feel good. That's got to feel good for Austin Wilkie. You got to be happy for a guy like him who struggled a little bit to start the year and then absolutely clobbered that baseball. We got a great look at his celebration on our Majors TV camera there. Wilkie can rightfully celebrate, giving his team the lead, a 3-run lead. It's a nice cushion for the Majors and a massive, massive home run.
Keith Candell, who him and himself has had a good ball game, now 1-for-1, a couple of walks as well. Takes the first pitch for a strike, falls behind 0-1. Majors with 9 unanswered runs here in the ball game after trailing 6-0 after the first inning and a half. 0-1 pitch, missing off the plate, 1-1 here to Candell. Malker grabs his sign, catches the bottom corner on Candell, and he gets up in the count 1-2. Some action now down in the Hamilton bullpen as well. Another lefty getting up loose. Here's the pitch from Markle. Off speed, off the plate, can't get Candell to chase.
Really good take there from Keith Candell. Sorry to interrupt, Noah, on that breaking ball. Tough pitch with 2 strikes, but Candell was able to lay off as it missed the outside edge. We get a look at the action now in the bullpen.
2-2. Candell ripped into center field. Gideon back a couple of steps. Oh, and he misread the ball. This one's going to carry all the way to the warning track. Candell's going to have extra bases as now he rounds 2 and looks for 3. Cut off, throw to third. Candell's in sliding with a 1-out triple.
No, I think Justin Gideon just lost that baseball in the lights or something. He was playing it as if it was a routine fly ball. It made me think it was, but it was well over his head, bounced up near the warning track, and so Gideon had to turn and book it to the warning track to try and pick up that baseball and get it in quickly enough to retire Candell. Eventually, he was not able to do so. Candell was able to make it all the way to third base, and now the Majors have their 10th run 90 feet away, and you touched on it, Noah, earlier. 9 unanswered runs so far for the Majors after being down 6-0, and that is going to mark the end of the night for Wes Markle.
So Wes Markle is going to be pulled from the ball game. The Cardinals once again are going to the bullpen here. Looks like another lefty will be into the game. We'll bring you who that is when we come back. The Majors leading 9-6 here on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand. and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickert Promotions Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning, currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Back here after the break, it is a pitching change as the Cardinals go to the bullpen here with Cleveland Brownlee stepping up to the plate. 4 runs already across here in the bottom half of inning number 5 after the huge home run from Austin Wilkie.
Austin Wilkie with an absolute moonshot for the Majors, and that put them ahead 9-6. 4 runs in this inning for London, and after a triple by Keith Candell, a bit of a tough play for Justin Gideon out in center field. I think he couldn't see it because of the lights, so Candell gets to third base, and with another run 90 feet away, the Cardinals opt to go to the bullpen, and they go to Jacob Godjic out of that bullpen, looking to kind of calm things down and get out of this inning with Cleveland Brownlee due up. That's not going to be an easy task, so we'll see if Godjic is able to do just that. It's another lefty for the Hamilton Cardinals. After they started with Ben Braun, came in with the righty Markle. They go back to the left side, and Godjic comes into this ball game for Hamilton. This season, Jacob Godjic has appeared in 6 games. None of them have been starts. They've all been out of the bullpen. He's 2-0 in 9 2/3 innings with 13 strikeouts, 4 walks, and a .931 earned run average. Of course, that ERA is inflated due to the small workload.
Gadjic ready on the mound here as Brownlee digs into the right-hand batter's box and take a big cut at the first pitch he sees, fouling it off out of play down the first base line.
Worth noting the infield is in, but not only are they in, but we've got a shift on the infield. You get a good look at it there on our wide shot camera. 3 infielders to the left side of second base. They are all drawn in trying to cut down the run and play Brownlee to pull.
Gadjic grabs his sign. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Well outside to Brownlee. That one's going to hit off the glove. And coming in to score is Keith Candell. Making it a 10-6 Majors lead.
That's a tough one for the Hamilton Cardinals. Just bounced off the glove of the catcher right there, Aiden Muir, and it goes straight to the backstop. So Keith Candell is able to trot on home with his speed. Not much effort required to make it home on that pitch. We'll see if that's ruled a wild pitch or a pass ball. It wasn't an easy pitch to catch by any means. It was well up and away, but at the same time, it knocked off the glove of Muir as if he should have caught it. It is a passed ball scored against the catcher.
Brownlee hits one on the ground, picked up into the shift. The shortstop throws across the diamond in time to get Brownlee for the second out of the inning.
Cleveland Brownlee just got on top of that baseball and spiked it right into the ground over to shortstop. Osika made a nice play over there and fired it over to first for the second out of this bottom of the 5th inning, and the Cardinals are a step closer to getting out of this inning.
Your pitcher, number 25, Robert Mullen.
So Robert Mullen now comes to the plate. Majors having their second big inning of the night. They've got 10 runs in the ball game just in 2 innings. A pair of 5-run innings in the 3rd and now the 5th. And a 10-6 lead for the Majors. Now Robert Mullen up with 2 outs here in the inning. First pitch inside to Mullen, 1-0.
We always talk about what the Majors offense can do when they fall behind, and this is exactly what we mean. 2 5-run innings in this ball game. They can have a burst, and all of a sudden it's a brand new ball game.
1-0. Mullen fouled off, and that one's going to find its way out of play down the first base line, 1-1. Gadget called on here to work in the bottom of the 5th inning. Got himself the first out off the bat of Brownlee. Now looking to get the Cardinals back in on the bats in the 6th inning. Mullen, right center field. That one's going to find its way into the gap, and he's going to have extra bases here as he touches first and rolls into second base with a 2-out double.
Robert Mullen can do it all. He's gone deep plenty of times this year, including once tonight, and then that one ripped into the right center field gap, goes the opposite way, and is able to get into scoring position with 2 outs. The Majors are not quite done yet in this 5th inning.
Right fielder, number 7, Starling Joseph.
It's the thing about this Majors order, especially in the heart of it. You can think you're out of an inning, and then all it takes is one ball on the gap, and next thing you know, someone's in scoring position, and now Starling Joseph will bat with 2 gone, with Robert Mullen standing at second base, and see if he can bring in another run here for London here in this big 5th inning.
Joseph 0 for 3 to this point in the ball game. Going to look to turn things around here with the runner in scoring position.
Pitch to the plate. Joseph stakes it downstairs, 1-0. Mullen with a few steps off the bag at second. Quick check back. Now Gadget to the plate. This one hit right center field by Starling Joseph. Carrying back, and this one's going to go over top of the wall in right center. Starling Joseph has gone deep, and it extends this Majors lead.
They're unbelievable, Noah. This Majors offense is unbelievable. Another home run for the Majors in this ball game. This time a 2-run shot to the opposite field for Starling Joseph, and it's 12-6 London. After being down 6-0 early in this ball game, the Majors have doubled the Hamilton Cardinals in runs. It's 12-6 London. 12 unanswered for the Majors. Unbelievable.
And Starling Joseph, who we checked out down at batting practice this afternoon, was swinging a good bat. I actually called you on your phone. I said, Dylan, I think Starling's going to go deep tonight.
And you were right, Noah, right to call me. And I was wondering what was going on because I'm at field level. You're up in the press box. I get a call from Noah Smith. Usually something's going wrong with technology. But you just had a good instinct.
Krasminski will take that pitch inside for ball 1. It's 1-0. Gadget, a rude welcoming into the ball game.
So, Noah, there's a debate over what's batting around an inning, whether it's 9 guys come to the plate or 10 guys come to the plate. No matter how you slice it, the Majors have batted around in this frame. Gibson Krasminski led off this inning for the London Majors.
And he takes that one inside 2-0. Moves himself up in the count. I always thought that if the guy that led off the inning gets another chance to swing the bat, that's batting around.
Because you're going around, right? It comes back to the beginning, and I think that's right. But there's a lot of people who think otherwise.
Krasminski ready here. 2-0 delivery. Takes that one low, and now it's 3 balls and no strikes. I can see the other side of it.
Because technically you get everybody, right?
You get everybody gets a chance to swing, and I guess that would make it going through the order.
That's going through the order. Batting around comes back to the beginning.
Now I think we're just getting funny with words. 3-0 delivery here from Gadget to the plate. Taken and called a strike. Krasminski dropped his bat there, thought it was ball 4 up in the zone.
Borderline pitch there on 3-0 to Krasminski. I understand him thinking that was ball 4 because it was up in the zone, 3 straight balls. You know, maybe you get that call as a hitter because the pitcher has struggled to find the strike zone, but no dice, it's strike 1, and now Krasminski will have to adapt.
Three-one delivery. Big cut there by Krasminski, and now it's from a 3-0 count to a 3-2 count here with 2 gone in the inning. 7 runs across for London here in the bottom half of inning number 5. And now time called that to play by Krasminski. Didn't like how long Gadzik was taking to even get his sign, let alone come set.
Gadzik taking his time, making sure that he's going to get the right pitch here on 3-2 and finally get the Cardinals out of this merciless inning.
Swing and a miss. So Gadzik battles back from down 3-0, and he gets the strikeout to end the frame. But the Majors draw blood, and they draw big here in the bottom of inning number 5. 7 runs across on the strength of a couple of homers.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show. Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Here at EatHealthyEats.ca, we believe that a healthy diet and good nutrition shouldn't have to be sacrificed for convenience. That's why we deliver the meals to you so they're ready when you need it, even with your busy schedule. On our website, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start by picking your meals from our seasonally curated menus made from local produce. And after that, the rest is up to us. We'll cook, package, and deliver your meals right to your door twice a week. Then eat and repeat. It's that easy. EatHealthyEats.ca, from farm to folks.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Welcome back to Majors Baseball on Majors TV. Dylan Baker, Noah Smith up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth. A new arm on the mound for the Majors, Noah.
Yeah, the Majors going to the bullpen here. That is the end of the line for the starter. Can we just touch on the start quickly first, Dylan? Daniel Gore comes in, gives up 5 runs in the first, another run in the top of the second. But talk about settling down 3 straight scoreless innings after that and put his team in a good position to do what they did and come back in this ball game.
Absolutely. If you're Gore, you know that your team is capable of coming back in a ball game despite any deficit that they may face. And after those first 2 innings, he really settled in. He pitched 3 scoreless after the first 2. He only allowed 1 run in the second. So a good outing overall, I would say, for Daniel Gore, aside from a rough first inning. And he's able to leave with the lead in line for the victory.
And he turns things over to the bullpen here as we move along to the top half of inning number 6.
So Fernando Fernandez gets set to work against Tristan Osika. Here's the first offering. That's going to miss inside. It's ball 1.
Fernandez, a good lefty option out of the pen for the Majors so far. He's appeared in 4 games so far this season. Just 3 1/3 innings pitched.
The 1-0 cut on and missed by Osika.
Look to try and improve on that here in a game where he's going to be, I would imagine, Dylan, tasked with trying to get at least a couple innings worth of work in here.
You'd think so. Probably 2 innings at the minimum as long as all goes well for Fernandez. He comes set out there on the mound. Here's the 1-1 on its way. Osika lines that one straight back to the screen, and it becomes a ball and 2 strikes now.
Majors 5 runs in the bottom of the third, another 7 in the bottom half of inning number 5 to put themselves up 12-6 here. In a game that looked bleak early on. I've done a good job at turning the story around. That one in the dirt.
2 balls and 2 strikes now on Osika. And Noah, the Majors have given this sparse crowd something to cheer for after a bit of a rough start. It was pretty quiet in here the first couple of innings with the smaller crowd and the score being where it was. The Majors have turned things around.
On the out-of-town scoreboard, Guelph leads Barrie 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Looking to try and close that one out when they go to the top half of inning number 9 at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. We're here in London, the only other game in the IBL tonight.
2 balls and 2 strikes from Fernando Fernandez to Tristan Osika. Fernandez sets out there on the mound. Has the sign he wants. Here's the offering. In the air, shallow left field. Out is Candell. In comes the left fielder. And that will drop in. It's a base hit for Tristan Osika.
Not always about how hard you hit it. It's about where you hit it. And Osika finds the hole there, dropping it in front of the left fielder for a base knock to start things here for the Hamilton Cardinals in the 6th inning.
Few defensive changes to go over. Jacob Newton takes over in left field. Phil Whalen moves over to first base, and I believe that's all. Chris McQueen stays in the game to play second. Here's the first offering. That is going to be a called strike, according to the home plate umpire, on Julian Johnson.
Johnson can't believe it. He thought that one was well out of the zone. Mullen obviously thought so too. He appealed down to the first base umpire to see if he swung.
Johnson still arguing that call with the home plate umpire right now, saying that's way off the plate. 0-1. Fernandez sets, has a runner over at first base after the bloop single. Here's the offering. Johnson takes that one low for ball 1. It's 1-1.
Johnson obviously upset with the call. He's got to put that behind him here and see if he can find one over the plate that he likes. You know he can do damage with the bat.
The 1-1 on its way. That's in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to the Cardinals first baseman, who went deep earlier on in this ball game.
Yeah, we saw that from Julian Johnson before when we called his games. He's got a lot of power in the bat if you let him get those hands extended.
2-1. Runner over at first base, Osika. Not a big lead. Fernandez will look over and just check on him a little bit. Fernandez looks in for the sign. He's got the one he wants from Robert Mullen. He comes set out there on the mound. Osika dancing a little bit over at first base. The pitch is inside on Johnson. He's able to get a piece and fouls it off. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Fortunate hop there for Fernandez on the mound. Johnson didn't want to make contact there, but he does, and it puts him in a 2-2 count now.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, runner at first. Majors lead 12-6 here in the top of the 6th inning at Labatt Park. Fernandez sets out there, takes a peek. Here's the offering. Johnson just does get a piece and fouls it back to the screen.
Cardinals have had some base runners in the last few innings, but unable to get them around to score.
The 2-2 on its way once more. That one just does miss. Mullen and Fernandez wanted the call, but they did not get it. Perhaps a make-up call for that first pitch, or the umpire just thought it truly missed the zone, and so the count moves to full now.
Yeah, that looked like a better pitch than the one that was called a strike. Johnson had a word with the umpire there, but it's a 3-2 count.
Full count, Fernandez ready out there on the mound. Here's the offering. Johnson swings through it for strike 3. So Fernando Fernandez gets the first out on a strikeout, and there's one away with a runner at first.
Second strikeout of the game there for Julian Johnson. Pretty on par with what we saw last year, would you say?
Johnson's a guy who's got a lot of pop, but the strikeout numbers were elevated.
Big first out there for Fernandez on the mound to get out number 1.
So that'll bring up Aiden Muir, or potentially a pinch hitter. Here's the offering. That is in the dirt for ball 1.
And there is a pinch hitter into the ball game.
Jeremy Veilleux, I believe, is the pinch hitter for the Hamilton Cardinals. He took the first pitch low for ball 1. Veilleux also a catcher, so you can assume he will just stay in the game for Muir and do the catching from here on out. Here's the offering from Fernandez. That's fouled straight back to the screen by Veilleux, so 1-1.
Fernandez doing a good job at getting back into counts that he's fallen behind in. Hitting some swings and misses early on here. Majors will try to turn a ground ball if they can get one for 2 to end the inning.
Ball and a strike. Fernandez set out there on the mound. Here's the offering. That's fouled off as well by Veilleux, so the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes now with 1 away.
Quiet night here in London. Still no breeze at the ballpark.
We're waiting on it, though. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's the offering. Fouled off once again.
Veilleux keeps battling here. A great job at the plate. Couple of 2-strike pitches now. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Fernandez come back with the fastball. Some pitches to work with here on 1-2. He might try to miss the zone up and out. Or maybe work him in.
Can afford to waste some offerings as Fernandez sets out there on the mound. Osika dances at first. Here's the pitch. That's on the ground in the hole between first and second base into right field. Joseph comes on, cuts that baseball off so that Osika can't move up any further, and it's a single for Veilleux off the bench, and there are 2 on with 1 out.
Great piece of hitting there by Veilleux as he takes that 1-2 offering into right field. And the Cardinals now have runners at first and second with 1 gone in the inning. And similar to how we talked about with the Majors, Dylan, when they went down by 6 runs early on, the Cardinals will look to just try and chip away.
Hamilton going to try to claw their way back into this one. They've got 2 guys on with 1 out, so not a bad spot to be doing it. Fernandez takes a peek back at second base. Here's the offering to Petner. That's going to be in there for a called strike 1. A few Hamilton fans in the crowd, I think, Noah, were displeased with that call.
Well, the umpire tonight, although some calls that fans, players think might have gone the wrong way, it's the delay that I think has been catching a lot of people off guard.
Pitch is on the outside corner, so it's no balls and 2 strikes now to the Hamilton third baseman.
Obviously no set time on when an umpire has to make the strike call. Some umpires are super quick with it. Not the case tonight. A little bit of a delay. Make sure it's where it was, and then calls the strike.
0-2 on the way as Fernandez peeks back at second base. Here's the offering. A line drive towards second. Candela play. Throw to second to McQueen. Not in time. As Osika dove back to second base. Nearly a double play to get out of it, and I think McQueen is checking on Osika. He might have stepped on his hand there as he tried to touch the bag.
Yeah, and Chris knew that right away as he came running in from his second base position. Stepped on the hand of Osika, who is out there at second base holding his hand, now taking off his batting glove as we get a good look at it there on your screen.
An Osika guy who's been chatting it up with Keith Candell all night. You can tell him and McQueen are friends as well. It's not a great feeling for Chris McQueen, but he taps him on the arm and they joke around a little bit. Osika, a guy who's liked by many around the Intercounty Baseball League, and especially here in London, it seems, with his middle infield counterparts, and looks like he's all right, so he'll stay in the ball game. Good to see for Tristan Osika at second base.
Big second out there on the line drive to Keith Candell at shortstop for Fernandez now as he's got 2 outs in the inning.
Lineup flips over, and Justin Gideon at the plate. That one's going to hit the inside corner. A good pitch from Fernandez for a called strike 1.
See if Gideon, a guy who crushes the baseball, can find a way to get one into the outfield and maybe score a run for the Cardinals here with 2 gone.
The 0-1, Gideon off the end of the bat. Going to be a tough play coming in. Krzminski bare hands it, but bobbled it. And Gideon reaches first base safely. So the bases are loaded now with 2 away.
Gideon is just a fantastic hitter, Dylan. He can either put it into the outfield, he can put it over the fence, and then he can run those out. And it is just another skill to add to his repertoire as the infield single loads the bases here with 2 outs. As now Scragg will come to the plate in a big spot.
Scragg so far in the ball game 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and a strikeout. Obviously, sacrifice fly is not in play right now with 2 away in the inning. Fernandez will look to escape this jam. 2 out, bases loaded. He looks in and comes set out there on the mound for the Majors. Here's the offering. Scragg takes that one inside for ball 1. Mullen was hoping for a call, didn't get one.
Yeah,
so it's 1-0.
Even held it a little bit there. Trying to get the call, trying to squeeze out that call from the home plate umpire. Doesn't get it.
1 ball, no strikes. Coming set out there is Fernandez. Here's the offering. Scragg fouls that one off. Hits the screen and bounces back into play. So a ball and a strike now on the Hamilton second baseman. Scragg, of course, came into the ball game for Louis Jean, who was taken out early after just 1 trip to the plate. Scragg came in to play defense in the bottom of the first inning. Took over at second base. Osika moved to shortstop. Coming set is Fernandez. Here's the 1-1. That's ripped towards third. Kuzminski plays it off the hop. Will go to first and in time to retire the side. So we are through 5.5 here at Labatt Park. The Majors lead 12-6.
Nice play there by Kuzminski across the diamond. Picked that one up, and I think about 4 different plays went through his head before he finally decided to throw it across the diamond to first. Thought about going to 3. He wasn't close enough to get there. Then thought about going to 2. Runner at first got a good jump. He wasn't going to get him in time. And after all that, still had enough time to get Scragg at first base to retire the Cardinals in the top half of the 6th inning.
Noah, from our position up here in the press box in the Game Day London broadcast booth, there's a column blocking my view right where Kuzminski was playing that ball. So I could not see what Kuzminski was looking to do there. I think he was trying to decide what he wanted to do, and I lost track of the ball. I thought he threw it to second, then I was looking at third, and then finally located it over at first base. But a good play by Gibson Kuzminski to get the much-needed third out of that inning.
And now the Majors will come to the bats here in the bottom of the 6th. Final over in Guelph, 6-1. The Royals hold on to beat the Barrie Baycats. Big win for Guelph there on their home field. A game that just took 2 hours and 19 minutes to play.
Noah, you sound envious.
I am. I think I might be known as the guy up here in the broadcast booth who just hates long games.
Yes, you are. It's not a might be, it's you are. Listen, nobody's a fan of overly long ball games, but I don't think there's anybody who hopes for a quick game as much as you do, Noah, and everybody's, of course, hoping that every game that'll be quick, but you've got that extra little passion about it.
Passion, I like that word. It's a passion.
Absolutely.
It's a passion. Nonetheless, we'll go along to the bottom half of inning number 6 here. Majors with a 12-6 lead. If you're just joining us, joined in a little bit late, the Majors scored 12 unanswered runs throughout the course of the ball game after falling behind 6-0 early on. The Cardinals scored 5 in the first, 1 in the second. For 6 runs in the first 2 at-bats for them to take a 6-0 lead, but the Majors have now doubled up on them, 12-6.
Majors will have the bottom of the order. 2 up in this bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Whalen, McQueen, and Newton for London to face Jacob Gajic, who's still out there on the mound for Hamilton. Here's the offering. Whalen in the air, foul territory, chasing after to the first baseman and right fielder, but that ball is going to get into the stands, out of play.
That ball just got out of play, foul, but in probably one of the hardest parts of Labatt Park's foul territory to catch a ball over near the bullpens. The foul territory gets a little bit bigger by about 10 feet, and you also have to worry about the mounds, the benches, and right now for the Cardinals, the people warming up.
Here's the 0-1. Whalen takes that one well up and away for ball 1. So ball and a strike now to the Majors' first baseman. Coming set on the mound is Gajic. The 1-1 on its way. Whalen takes that one in about the same spot he took the last one. 2 balls and a strike.
Gajic here trying to work through this bottom half of the 6th inning. Some action down in the Hamilton bullpen, though.
Perhaps in case they get back to the top of the order in this inning. Whalen called for the swing on that one, and the count moves to 2-2.
Good pitch there. Whalen committed a bit too early, couldn't hold back. Count now at 2-2.
Here's the offering from Gajic. That one will miss up and away for ball 3. So good job by Whalen working the count here, and it's full with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th.
Trying to find any way on here is Phil Whalen to start the inning.
Setting Gajic. Here's the pitch. That is off the plate outside for ball 4. So Whalen draws the walk now, and he'll be on base with nobody out for Chris McQueen.
Chris McQueen will take his first at-bat of the ball game. Came in as a pinch runner at second base and then moved in defensively at second base as well. And now will get his first chance to swing the bat tonight.
McQueen took over for Kieran Bowles, who went 1-for-2. Drew a walk as well. Drove home a run in this ball game. So a good outing for Bowles, and then McQueen took over at second base. Here's the pitch that is going to hit the outside corner for strike 1, according to the home plate umpire. McQueen later came around to score when he came in as a pinch runner. Gajic looks into the sign. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball just misses the inside part of the plate. So a ball and a strike now on McQueen.
Looked like it just broke a little bit too late there. Overall, a pretty good pitch. It's where you want that one, inside on the lefty. Try to catch the inside edge.
The 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball. McQueen fights it off down the left field line. It's going to stay fair. It is just foul, according to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, just about 2 or 3 feet on the left side of the line. McQueen couldn't get it to stay fair. It's unfortunate because with his speed, he's in at second for sure. In left field, probably not looking for a triple per se, but now 1-2 count here for Gajic on the mound.
Ball and 2 strikes. Gajic going to be looking to put away McQueen here on this offering. He's got the left arm dangling. Comes set out there on the mound. Looks over at first. Here's the pitch. McQueen on the ground towards second base. Osika will wait for it. Goes to second for 1. Scragg on to first, not nearly in time to get the speedy McQueen. And so they get 1 out, but not 2.
Grounded over to shortstop there, and Osika waited back on that one. Waited till it got to him. And I'm not saying he had a shot at getting Chris McQueen if he attacks that ball, but it's going to be a whole lot closer than if you wait back on that one. Just got to know who's running, and Chris McQueen is going to be tough to double up. Good job at getting at least the lead runner there, and now you put yourself in a position where McQueen is the speedier and leadoff man here. You can see if you can double him up if you get the same ball.
So that'll bring up Jacob Newton. He's 1 for 1. Had a pinch hit RBI single his last time up. Here's the offering from Gajic. It hits the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 to Newton. Newton came into the ball game and took over in left field, moving Phil Whalen to first base. Newton pinch hit for Evan Simons in the 5th inning. Looking over at first is Gajic. Here's the offering. Newton hits that one hard towards second base. Scragg goes to second for 1. Thought about going to first, and that hesitation will potentially cost Hamilton double play, though it would have been hard to turn with the speedy Newton running. So another fielder's choice gets the Cardinals their second out of the inning.
Almost the same thing, just on the opposite side of the field here for the Cardinals. 2 straight double play ground balls that they just probably didn't turn the way they would like to. Once again, Newton running up the first baseline, going to be tough to turn either way. But a little hesitation, thought about going to 1 first, then spun, still got the lead out at second. But Newton reaches on the fielder's choice, 2 gone in the inning.
So runner at first, 2 away for Austin Wilkie, who hit an absolute missile his last time up. That one hits the outside corner for strike 1. Wilkie hit that home run off of Wes Markle, has yet to face Gajic in this ball game.
Wilkie's one of my favorite hitters to watch because if he gets consistent reps at the plate and he gets hot, he can be one of the best hitters on the club.
He absolutely can be and was last year. That one's ripped towards shortstop. Osika plays it off the hop, goes to second base, and 3 fielders' choices get the Hamilton Cardinals out of this inning. The Majors lead 12-6 through 6 innings here at Labatt Park. You're watching the Majors and Cardinals on Majors TV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning. Currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Back to Majors Baseball on Majors TV. We're with you from the Game Day London broadcast booth here at Labatt Park. Majors lead 12-6. They've scored 12 unanswered after going down 6-0. Early in the ball game. Hamilton scored 5 in the first, then added another in the second, and then have gone scoreless since, I should say. The Majors scored 5 in the third and then 7 in the 5th inning to stake them to this lead. They've also got 12 hits in the ball game, and Fernando Fernandez is on the mound for his second inning of relief. Came in for Daniel Gore, who started the ball game, and as Noah and I have talked about throughout the broadcast, had a rough first 2 innings, really a rough first inning, and settled in from there. Fernandez will come set out there on the mound, working from the stretch despite the fact that nobody's on base. He gets a called strike one on the inside corner, and oftentimes with relievers, we'll see that more and more. We're seeing that more and more, I should say, that they'll work from the stretch in all situations just to keep that consistency, because sometimes they'll come in with guys on base, sometimes they'll come in with a fresh inning. And in order to keep things consistent, they will always work from the stretch, which you cannot do with a runner on. That one gets fouled off into the third base grandstand here at Labatt Park, so no balls and 2 strikes to Tyler Duncan. Duncan in the ball game so far is 1 for 2 for Hamilton. Facing the lefty Fernandez for the first time after seeing the righty Gore earlier in the ball game. Fernandez ready. Here's the 0-2 on its way. That's in the dirt. Good block by Robert Mullen to keep it in front of him. But no chase from Duncan, so it's a ball and 2 strikes. Mullen has done a good job blocking those baseballs so far in this one. He's been beat up a little bit back there. He's taken a lot of balls off the chest, off the leg, off the arm, but he's done his job behind the plate. Dan Moore also hitting a home run in this ball game. Setting out there on the mound is Fernandez. Here is the 1-2 on its way. That is on the ground towards third base. Kurzminski makes the play to his left. Fires a strike over to Whalen at first, and that is in time for the first out of the top of the 7th inning. We'd like to take this time to remind you to follow the London Majors on all social media. London Majors on Facebook, at London Majors on Twitter and Instagram, and at London Majors on TikTok, the newest social media platform for the Majors this season. Go through the Majors a follow for some great content over there. Of course, subscribe to the Majors on YouTube if you have not already. We appreciate you joining us this Tuesday evening. 1 out now in the top of the 7th for Josh Niles, who went deep in the first inning. Is hitless since. The pitch from Fernandez is going to miss low and inside for ball 1.
Did you mention, Dylan, we're only 2 subscribers away from 700?
I did not know it, but I feel like that is definitely worth mentioning.
It is worth mentioning. I think we're going to do a 700 subscriber giveaway. If you are the 700 subscriber,
Noah Smith dancing.
It's a thumbs up from us here in the booth.
That pitch is going to miss high, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. I think my prize was better, Noah, to be honest. Send a fan a custom video of you doing a TikTok dance.
Like one of those cameo things?
Yeah, let's get it rolling.
You got to pay a lot of money for that. $10.
That'll get you a couple Bill's Burgers, I think, here at Labatt Park. Not bad money at all. Here's the 2-0 from Fernandez. Inside, just misses the inside corner to Niles. So 3 balls and no strikes.
We've reached the point of the game where I will now talk about my food choices for today. And I switched things up. I had a sausage from down at the third base concession stand instead of the usual burger today.
Here's the offering. That's a called strike to Niles. And for those of you at home who are unfamiliar with our food routine, I'm always the one to go run down and grab the food, probably because I'm the youngest on the crew, and that's just my job.
That's not probably. That is the reason.
And I'm so used to Noah getting a burger, but today he opted for the sausage as that one misses inside for ball 4. It was a big surprise for me, Noah, and not only did you opt for the sausage, you also got popcorn.
Popcorn and a water.
Yeah.
This is a weird day. It was a Tuesday at the ballpark, so I figured I can't do my usual Friday routine. I really got to switch things up, and I did.
We've got customs for the Fridays, but the Tuesdays are all new for us, and Noah decided to switch things up. If we have another makeup game, maybe we'll see a similar order. But I think the expectation is it'll return to normal on Friday. Niles takes his lead over at first base. Here's the offering for Fernando Fernandez. That is going to miss for ball 1. Fernandez takes a long walk off the mound. After walking the previous hitter and throwing a first pitch ball to Lane Renault, he's going to try and gather his thoughts here and get ready to come back on 1-0. Fernandez sets out there on the mound. Looks over at Niles at first. Here's the offering. Inside corner just does miss inside, so 2 balls and no strikes to Renault.
No action in the Majors bullpen. This is going to be Fernandez inning, I would like to think, unless things get out of hand.
Here's the 2-0. That's ripped foul. 2 balls and 1 strike, I should say.
Cardinals bullpen does have some action, though. Looks like Stefan Strecker is down there throwing. There's a long way for me to see down to the Cardinals bullpen, but I believe pretty tough to mistake Strecker down in the bullpen.
Stefan Strecker, guy who's been around the league for a long, long time, as that's fouled straight back to the screen.
2-2 now. Good job to work back into the count for Fernandez.
And a great look from our cameraman here, Kyle Brabner, shows you that that is, in fact, Stefan Strecker. Thanks to the production crew for bringing us that shot. Down the first base line. Setting out there is Fernandez. The 2-2 on its way. In the air, center field. Wilkie going back, straight back, towards the warning track. Near the wall, he makes the catch. Niles going to have to race back to first base. Wilkie, a strong throw. Candell will cut that off, and Lane Renault gave that baseball a ride, but he did it to the deepest part of the ballpark.
Yeah, great job there, and we actually had a good view on the camera there. Turn and run, right? Too many times you'll get a guy who's worried about trying to find the ball. You can get the ball and still be able to turn and run straight to where you think it's going to go, and that's what he did, all the way in way deep center field, just in front of the warning track.
Good play by Wilkie out there. So 2 out now in the top of the 7th inning, and Tristan Osika will step up to the plate for the 3rd time. Correction, the 4th time. He walked in his first plate appearance, lined out to center, and then singled on a little blooper as that one is swung on and missed for strike 1. Fernandez looks into the sign from Mullen, shakes him off once, now gets the one he wants. Comes set out there on the mound. Here's the offering. On the ground towards third base, Kuzminski comes in. On the run throw to Whalen at first. It pulls him off the bag, and it's going to go into right field. Rounding first, heading to second is Osika. Getting to third base and being held up there is Niles, as the Majors will get the ball in quickly. And so there are 2 guys in scoring position now with 2 out in the 7th.
Picked up cleanly there by Kuzminski at third, but couldn't get the throw on the money. Just missing off to the far side there when he came across his body with the throw. The error will allow runners to move to second and third here. Still 2 gone in the inning.
So Julian Johnson steps up to the plate, a chance to do some damage like he did earlier in this ball game when he went deep. His team trails by 6 runs. Could cut that deficit in half if he's able to put one out here again. You'd like to at least get some runs on the board and chip away at this deficit. Swings through the first pitch for strike 1.
Got to get ahead here and try to work out of this inning. Try not to extend it any longer than already has been with the error.
Coming set on the mound is Fernandez. The 0-1 on its way. In there for a called strike 2. Fernandez looks in. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on in this top of the 7th inning here at Labatt Park. Fernandez sets out there on the mound. Here's the pitch on its way. Swung on and missed by Johnson. Strike 3. So Fernandez gets a big strikeout to end the top of the 7th inning. It's stretch time here at Labatt Park. Majors lead 12-6.
Going to the stretch here. And Dylan, I believe, Cal, can you get us on camera up here in the booth? Up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth. We just hit 700 subscribers. So as promised, we get a big thumbs up.
Thanks, guys.
To everyone listening, the call to action worked.
That was awesome.
You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Sometimes up here, we just do wonders. I can't believe it.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. My biggest fear in mentioning that we were getting close to 700 subscribers was that somebody's going to unsubscribe just to mess with us. But I'm very happy
we don't
we
have
got
that
to
kind of fans, I would hope. I would hope.
I hope
maybe
not.
some visiting teams that are watching.
Yeah, no, thank you, guys. It means a lot to get 700 subscribers. Mid-game, too. It's pretty special.
Mid-game, yes. The call to action works. I told you. Media manager Matt Hiscox, when I tell him this story, if he's watching, Matt, come on. Time for a raise up here in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic job.
I'm happier that we were able to deliver on our promise. The thumbs up.
The thumbs up. No dancing videos.
No dancing video. That was a joke. The thumbs up was real.
Thumbs up is real.
We proved that right here. No, we're thankful for everybody who's subscribed to the Majors YouTube channel and for everybody who's watching in this one. It's a good ball game for Majors fans. It's 12-6 London, and the offense has been a sight to behold once again, Noah.
And we'll head back out there for the bottom half of the inning number 7. And the Majors, 12 runs on 12 hits, 12 unanswered runs, as we've touched on throughout the course of the ball game.
We've received confirmation from Matt Hiscox, our media manager here. There is no raise.
Interesting.
For Noah and I.
Interesting.
Looks like a new arm on the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals here in this bottom of the 7th inning. Jacob Godjich's evening is over. And based on who is warming up in the bullpen, I assume that is Stefan Strecker out there for the Hamilton Cardinals. Strecker has been around the league for a very long time and will look to hold the Majors scoreless here. It'll be Keith Candell due up to lead things off for London. No, I'm not sure that is Stefan Strecker out there.
Warming in the pen?
On the mound.
Oh, not on the mound, Dylan. Just talking about warming up in the bullpen.
It is a new arm on the mound, though. It's not Jacob Godjich, I'll tell you that.
Keith Candell will lead things off here, bottom half of inning number 7.
We'll try to get you who that new arm is.
Bring you that as soon as we can here as Candell leads off 7th for London. Not sure if this is Gabe Braun, the younger brother of Ben Braun, who's the starter in the ball game.
Here's the 1-0 offering to Candell. That's going to miss outside. So we're going to go on the assumption that it is Gabe Braun.
I'm trying to pick up a number down there, and I'm having trouble.
The Hamilton Cardinals are in our chat telling us it is Gabe Braun. Thank you very much, guys.
Much appreciation from the Cardinals. Gabe Braun comes into the ball game here. His brother Ben started the ball game.
That one is in the air off the bat of Candell. Shallow center field. Scragg moved back, now comes into the cut of the grass and makes the grab for the first out in this bottom of the 7th inning. So that will bring up a pinch hitter for Cleveland Brownlee. Dan Perrier will come into the ball game for the Majors to pinch hit for Cleve after a long night.
I probably could have told you that Cleve was going to be lifted for a pinch hitter because I went down to the washroom in the break there and saw Cleve on the concourse. So
it's usually a pretty good hint.
Pretty good sign that he was going to be lifted from the ball game.
That pitch is going to miss outside for ball 1 to Perrier.
Perrier's appeared in 8 games so far for the Majors this year. Average sitting at .222.
The 1-0 on the way. Perrier loses his bat as that one skied over the press box, and it did not hit our press box roof. Looks like everybody's all right near the Majors dugout as Perrier's bat went flying towards Robert Mullen on deck.
I was more worried about our low camera there in the corner.
Looks like, for our production screen here, it looks like it's all good.
It was off to the left, I believe.
That's like a perfect slot for the bat to slide right in if it's thrown at a perfect angle.
If that happens, then go buy a lottery ticket.
Perrier will get some pine tar on that bat and look to get a better grip on this for the 1-1. As Braun looks into the sign. From the full windup, here's the offering. That is on the outside corner, according to the home plate umpire. Perrier not a fan of that call, but it's 1-2.
Once again, a little bit of a delay on the call there. Catches Perrier off guard, who's new into the ball game.
Here's the 1-2. That's outside to Perrier. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 on its way to Perrier. That's in the dirt for ball 3. So Perrier doing a good job of working this count. Back to full now.
Trying to find his way on with 1 gone in the inning. The Majors now have Jordan Spring throwing lightly in the bullpen.
Here's the pitch on the ground towards third base. A tough play, and it's bobbled by Osika, the shortstop. So Perrier is able to reach. We'll see if that scored an error or a base hit for the Majors. Either way, they've got a runner at first with 1 out.
Coming across, that's going to be a tough play to make for either the third baseman or the shortstop. I think a little bit of a miscommunication there between the two. Ball drops on the high chopper from Perrier, and he's going to reach first base.
It's been ruled a hit.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised by that. It was going to be a tough play, no matter who came up with that one, to throw out Perrier because of how high that one was chopped in the air.
So Robert Mullen will step up to the plate now with 1 out and a runner over at first base. Mullen has a home run and a double in this one as he continues his torrid start to the season. A breaking ball that misses high to Mullen. It's ball 1. Braun sets. Perrier over at first. Here's the pitch. Mullen rips that one through the left side. It's a base hit. Hence the Majors will have a second base runner on now with 1 out in the 7th.
And Mullen continues having a fantastic day at the plate there. Another hit to add to his total. This time a rocket base hit through the left side, which will bring up Starling Joseph, who homered out to deep right center field earlier on in the ball game.
Joseph's home run was a line drive to right field. One of 3 Majors to hit a home run today. Joseph has 1, Mullen's got 1, and Wilkie's got 1 in this ball game for London. So with a runner in scoring position, another runner over at first base, and 1 out in the inning, Joseph will step up to the plate for the Majors. Gabe Braun looks in for the sign from his catcher. Comes set, takes a peek back at Perrier. Here's the offering. That is inside, and it hits Joseph. Looked like a breaking ball that slipped out of the hand of Gabe Braun and might have gotten Joseph on the arm. So he will trot on down to first base.
And that'll load the bases here with 1 out in the inning.
Third baseman, number 19, Gibson Kurzminski.
Gibson Kurzminski will step up to the plate for the Majors. He's 1 for 4 in the ball game today. Krasminski is grounded out, singled on a bloop fly ball to center, grounded out again, and struck out swinging in the ball game. He's got the bases loaded with 1 out. So a great opportunity to cash in 1, maybe 2 runs, depending on where he's able to put this ball. If he gets it deep enough into the gap, I'm sure Mullen can score. We'll see if the Majors play it station to station on anything back up the middle or a simple base hit to the outfield. Here's the offering from Krasminski in the air, hit high to center, not overly deep. Gideon camps under it. He makes the catch, tagging from third Perrier. It's a strong throw to the plate. It's cut off by the first baseman. The throw gets the backstop. Mullen thinks about moving up to third, but good backup there from Gabe Braun. And so a sacrifice fly cashes Dan Perrier, and Gibson Krasminski has an RBI.
Flew it out to fairly shallow center field. Gideon came on, and it was going to be a tough throw to make. Perrier got to home fairly quickly. The cutoff stopped any chance of them getting Perrier at the dish, but the second out recorded on a run coming home, 13-6 Majors.
Looked like a strong throw from Justin Gideon, Noah, and I thought for a second if they didn't cut that ball off, there was a shot that they get Perrier at the plate. It would have been close.
It was close for sure.
But there was definitely a chance. Either way, it's 13-3 London. 13 unanswered for the Majors as Phil Whalen will step up to the plate. Checked his swing. Called strike 1 from the home plate umpire. Looking in for the sign is Braun. He's got Mullen at second and Joseph at first. He sets, peeks back at Mullen. Now looks in at the plate. Here's the offering. That one's going to get off the glove of Veilleux behind the plate, and the runners will move up on the pass ball.
Runners at second and third now after the pass ball. Still 2 gone here in the inning, so Gabe Braun will just look to get through this. We've mentioned Stefan Strecker warming in the Cardinals bullpen for some time now. I don't know if he's throwing some sort of scheduled bullpen or if he's planning to come into this game.
No, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like we discussed last year that Stefan Strecker was also warming up for a very long time, and he ended up coming into the ball game. Just likes to go through a thorough warm-up before he comes in, perhaps, or he could just be looking to get some work in the bullpen, as that one will miss to Whalen as well. 2 balls and a strike.
Whalen here's had a pretty decent day. Looking to continue that here in the bottom of the 7th.
2-1 on the way. That's in the dirt. Nice block by Veilleux behind the plate. But the count moves to 3-1 on Phil Whalen. Whalen batting .290 on the season coming into this ball game.
Couple of walks, a single, fielder's choice today.
That one's going to miss well outside for ball 4. So the bases will be loaded now for Chris McQueen, who will get his second trip to the plate. And he's got a chance to add on some more runs for the Majors.
Came in as a pinch runner in the Majors' big inning. Bottom of the 5th. Then got his first at-bat. Now we'll look to see if he can bring home some runs. Bases loaded, 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
Nathan Scragg, the second baseman, playing pretty deep over at second base. Here's the offering to McQueen. The first pitch misses high for ball 1. You can see kind of in the background there of that shot, Scragg is on the outfield grass right now at second base. Braun sets out there on the mound. Here's the 1-0. That one's going to get past the catcher Veilleux. Mullen will come charging to the plate, and he will score the Majors' 14th run of the ball game. London leads by 8.
Having some trouble there, possibly seeing the ball on its way to the plate is Veilleux, and that one gets past him. Another run comes in to score. 2-0 count on Chris McQueen. Majors extending on to this lead now. 14 unanswered runs here in the ball game.
So that will be ruled a wild pitch. That allows Mullen to score and Joseph and Whalen to move up. Whalen at second, Joseph at third. Here's the 2-0 on its way to McQueen. Takes that one, and it misses for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes, the Major's second baseman.
Tough to tell from up here. That looked pretty good.
Three balls, no strikes, good hitters count for McQueen. The pitch on its way from Braun. Ball 4. So Chris McQueen draws a walk, and the bases will be loaded now for Jacob Newton.
All around the zone is Gabe Braun. Can't find a strike. Bites around the edges there, not getting any calls. It's a tough situation to be in. Umpires called a pretty good zone all night, but sometimes when you get into these 14-6 games, it gets late in the ball game. Pitcher's struggling to find the zone. You might get an extra inch or two off the plate. Just doesn't seem that Gabe is getting that here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Jacob Newton will hope that stays that way as he takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Newton 1 for 2 in the ball game. Came off the bench and delivered a clutch pinch hit RBI single to right field. Was retired in his next trip. A ball and no strikes to him as he steps in. Ready is Braun. Here's the offering. That is on the inside corner for strike 1 to Newton. A ball and a strike now. Newton ready in the batter's box. Braun comes set out there on the mound. Bases loaded, 2 out for the Majors. Here's the pitch on its way. Newton swings right through that one. Looked like he took something off of it. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Great job by Gabe Braun to get ahead here in the count, 1-2. Now going to look for that put-away pitch. See if he can get out of this inning.
Braun sets out there on the mound. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch to Newton on its way. That's in the dirt for ball 2. 2-2 now. McQueen stands over at first. Whalen is at second. Joseph is at third. Jacob Newton in the batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 in already in the inning for the Majors. Here's the pitch on its way. Newton on the ground towards first base, just foul. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. All the runners will have to move back.
Good job by Newton to stay on that one. Just couldn't bring it into fair territory. Once everybody gets back to their bases and we're good to go for another 2-2 pitch.
Braun looks in for the sign. Newton looks out from the batter's box. Braun will set out there on the mound. Here's the 2-2. Newton on the ground towards first base. Foul ball. It hit off his foot, I believe. Julian Johnson faking that he's going to spike it into the first base bag. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Good call there by the home plate umpire, seeing that one off the foot.
For a moment, I wondered why Newton wasn't running, and made sense once the home plate umpire made the call. 2-2, 2 out. Here's the pitch on its way. Newton in the air. Shallow center, left center now. Gideon coming in, Osika drifting out. It'll be Gideon who makes the play in shallow center, and the side is retired. The Majors add 2 onto their lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They lead 14-6. You're watching Majors Baseball on Majors TV.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Here at at eathealthyeats.ca, we believe that a healthy diet and good nutrition shouldn't have to be sacrificed for convenience. That's why we deliver the meals to you so they're ready when you need it, even with your busy schedule. On our website, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start by picking your meals from our seasonally curated menus made from local produce. And after that, the rest is up to us. We'll cook, package, and deliver your meals right to your door twice a week. Then eat and repeat. It's that easy. EatHealthyEats.ca, from farm to folks.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Back here on Majors TV as we move along to the top half of inning number 8. Dylan, the Majors going back to the bullpen here. Jordan Spring is going to come into the ball game to pitch the 8th inning.
Jordan Spring will pitch for the Majors. We saw him on Sunday in the Back to Park game as well for London. He pitched a pretty good outing in that one. Spring has not had a lot of action this season, but he has seen the mound a few times so far this year. In 3 games played, he's thrown 2 1/3 innings. He's taken the loss in 1 game. That was the Back to Park game on Sunday. 3 earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks. No strikeouts yet in his Intercounty Baseball League career. He'll be looking for that first one here tonight against Hamilton.
So it'll be Veilleux to lead things off here for the Cardinals. Top half of inning number 8. It is a 14-6 London lead as that one fouled straight back into the screen towards us. 0-1.
Would you have had it, Noah, if there was no screen?
I think I got that.
I saw your reflexes. You were pretty on the
Quick
nose
like
there.
a cat. Spring able to get ahead 0-1. Now grabs his sign on the mound. Delivery to the plate. Nice little off-speed pitch dropped in there for a strike. Way up in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes.
Beautiful pitch there from Spring. Took something off of it and dropped it perfectly into the strike zone.
Spring set and ready to come to the plate again. Swing and a miss. Going to have to complete the play down to 1 as Mullen's strong throw is on the money for out number 1 here in the top of the 8th inning.
And just as I mentioned that Jordan Spring did not have his first IBL strikeout, he gets it. So congratulations to Jordan Spring on getting that first punch out in the Intercounty Baseball League.
So now Petner will come to the plate here. Already 1 gone, top of the 8th inning after the punch out. A quick one at that for Jordan Spring.
Majors will likely be looking to have Spring through the next couple of innings.
Hit hard over to first. Nice play. Stays fair. No, and the first base umpire is waving that one off foul.
Looks like the home plate umpire is going to go talk to him, Noah.
The first base umpire walking away from his home plate counterpart.
No, I'm not an umpire. I believe you are. Whose call is that on that ground ball?
I believe the umpires will discuss that prior to the game on who's going to have that. A lot of times when it's right in front of the first base umpire like it was, it's easy for him to make that call. But in that situation, it looked like he was turning to try and get away from the ball. And sometimes that can make it tough to call.
Yeah, and Phil Whalen was reaching over as well, trying to make that play. Kind of got in his way. He turned away, trying not to get hit. So I think that probably should default to the home plate umpire, but we'll see what they determine here. Third base umpire has also come over to talk to his fellow boys in blue.
The home plate umpire was there to make the call quickly, too, because he saw that play unravel. The first base umpire, he actually called that late because he was trying to get out of the way of the ball if it wasn't made at first base.
And I may have seen this incorrectly, but I thought the first base umpire originally called it fair and then saw where Whalen ended up and called it foul. It might have just been his motions as he was trying to avoid that baseball, but definitely a strange play. And they're making sure this discussion lasts a while. They've got the call they want now.
So it is a foul ball after all. Should have came up to the booth for the video replay, Dylan.
I think you're right, Noah. We got that. We don't really have an angle on that line, I guess.
0-1 here as Spring gets ahead, grabs his sign to the plate. Can't find the outside edge, so the count evens up at a ball and a strike here.
Sean Petner at the plate is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Doubled in his first trip to the plate, then walked and lined out to short after that.
Hit in the air. Coming on is the right fielder, Starling Joseph, underneath it, and mid-right field makes the catch for out number 2. Quickly 2 retired here to start the 8th inning.
Routine play for Starling Joseph out in right field, and he makes it to nobody's surprise. He's able to come in, make that grab, and get a second out in this 8th inning.
So back to the top of the order is Justin Gideon. Now will step to the plate. 2 for 4 in this evening's ball game. First pitch for a strike, so he falls behind in the count 0-1.
Little out-of-town scoreboard update. No, all the Intercounty Baseball League games aside from this one are wrapped up. But the Blue Jays are still in action in Chicago, taking on the White Sox. They just tied the game up at 2 on a Kevin Biggio single. So 2-2 in Chicago.
That one's called a strike to make it 0-2 on Justin Gideon. The All-Star break just around the corner for Major League Baseball. A lot of All-Star voting going on right now. Some Blue Jays in the lead. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you like to see that. If you're anybody else, maybe not quite the same fan. The 0-2 pitch just off the plate. Spring doesn't get the call, and it's 1-2.
I think Spring was hoping for that call, so was Robert Mullen, but it just did miss off the plate. According to the home plate umpire, Justin Gideon will take that.
Now Gideon, left field, tracking back towards the track, carrying Newton, who's into the game, is underneath it to make the catch. And Jordan Spring has a nice 1-2-3, top of the 8th inning here for the Majors as we go to the bottom half of inning number 8. The Majors holding on to a 14-6 lead here at Labatt Park.
Good inning there for Jordan Spring, coming in and providing exactly what the Majors needed from him, getting a scoreless inning of work. Got his first Intercounty Baseball League strikeout. Got the Cardinals to go 1-2-3. Veilleux, Petner, and Gideon go 1-2-3 for Hamilton. Not an easy 1-2-3 inning. Veilleux and Gideon have been with Hamilton for a while, and Petner has had a good game as well. So good job by the youngster Jordan Spring coming in to retire the side. Spring now has pitched 3 1/3 innings in his Intercounty Baseball League career. And we've got a new arm on the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals, Noah, and this time for real, it is Stefan Strecker.
Yes, we saw him warming up down in that Cardinals bullpen for the last couple of innings, just throwing, getting loose, getting ready. And now he is into the ball game. The right-hander will come on to pitch the 8th inning here for Hamilton. Always good to see him back playing in the IBL, and has decided he is going to be back here for this 2022 season.
Good for Stefan. I mean, he's been around this league for such a long time. It's awesome to see him back once again. And if you want an update on that Blue Jays game, the Jays have just taken the lead. Bo Bichette with a single. 3-2 Toronto.
Dylan, you keep doing these updates, we're going to get people switching the channel.
I apologize, no. I'll make sure everybody stays back here. No more updates for the rest of the game.
Focus on the task at hand.
Locked in. Locked in.
So Strecker here in to pitch the 8th inning for the Cardinals. Long-time Brantford Red Sox. Came over to the Cardinals in 2019. Pitched last year as well. 16 games for the Cardinals last year. He's pitched in 4 games so far this season for the Redbirds, and now back out onto the mound here to pitch at Labatt Park here on this Tuesday night.
4 scoreless innings this season for Stefan Strecker in each of his 4 appearances. He'll be looking to keep that scoreless streak going for the Hamilton Cardinals. He allowed a run in his last outing of last year, and since then he has not allowed a single run in 4 innings of work. For the Majors due up this inning, Stefan Strecker will have to face Austin Wilkie, Keith Candell, and Dan Perrier, the top of the Majors order.
Leading
Stefan Strecker since 2010, a 3.29 ERA, Dylan. You ask why he keeps coming back? It's because he can still get the job done.
He's fantastic. I love to see Stefan Strecker continue to light it up in this league, and good for him.
Be greeted by Austin Wilkie to start things, who takes strike one. Strecker had 0-1 here on the Majors leadoff man, and the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now Wilkie right through it, 0-2.
Austin Wilkie's hit the ball hard a few times tonight. Had a hard single, then lined out in his next trip to the plate. Homered later on in the ball game.
Here's the 0-2 delivery from Strecker, low in the dirt, blocked. Gets out front of AU, and they're going to get a new ball out to Strecker here on the 1-2 count. Here's the delivery. Upstairs to Wilkie, 2-2.
Good take by Wilkie, not getting too ahead of himself. Knows his team's got a big lead, and he's just trying to get some swings in, get some reps. He hadn't played for a while, so it's important for him to get his swing and his stroke back, and another good hit right there.
Wilkie drives it into left field for a base hit. So he's on again here, continues to have a good night at the plate. And the leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 8th inning for London.
Wilkie, a good job ripping that ball right between the third baseman and shortstop into left field. A solid base hit for Wilkie.
So Keith Gandel now, who in his own right has also had a good day at the plate. Two for three, has found his way on more times than not, and now he'll hit that one on the ground, third base. Picked up, strong throw, over to 2, back to 1, not in time to get Candel, who runs pretty good. Fielder's choice for the first out of the inning.
Good play over there by Petner, getting it over to Scragg, and as you mentioned, Noah, Keith Candel runs too well to get him over at first base on that double play ball. So Keith is retired. Well, he gets an offer on the score sheet for the second time in this ball game. He was 2 for 3 up to that point, had walked 2 times as well, and now 2 for 4 on the night with that fielder's choice. Dan Perrier will get a chance to hit again. He is 1 for 1.
First pitch there for a strike on Perrier. Strecker still very efficient. Good job at getting ahead of batters. Pitch inside to Perrier. He takes that one easily at 1-1. Little quick look, now comes to the plate. Ripped over to third, in and out of the glove. Candel had to freeze to make sure it wasn't caught. Throw to 2 in time to get him, back to 1, not in time to get Perrier. And another fielder's choice for the second out.
That's a tough play for the base runner, Keith Candel. A tough play for the third baseman, Sean Petner, as well, trying to make that play. Dropped that ball after the hard hit over to third base and could not come up with it cleanly. Keith Candel over at first did the right thing. He had to wait to make sure, because if that ball gets caught by Petner, then he's going to be doubled off over at first base. So he waited back and then ran to second base. Was obviously not going to be safe at second. The throw from Petner was right there to get Keith easily, and they just could not turn 2. Scragg tried to turn it, but Perrier was able to beat it out. He was running all the way as he was the one who hit the ball and avoids the double play.
So 2 gone as a wide one finds its way to the backstop. Perrier will advance to second. Robert Mullins 3 for 4 in the ball game. Delivery blocked, kept in front of him. Nice play by Veilleux to keep Perrier at second.
Good block there by Jeremy Veilleux. After one that got away from him, it was well up and away, got past him to the backstop. He's able to get in front of that pitch and ensure that Perrier moves no further than second for the moment.
Popped up foul territory, and that will get out of play. 2 balls and a strike here on the Majors catcher, Robert Mullen. And another one will find its way past the catcher. Perrier jogs up to third. And the count moves to 3 balls and a strike now.
Strecker having a tough time with his grip right now, not quite able to get a feel for the ball the way he wants it, and he's missed pretty badly on the past few pitches. 2 of the last 3 have gone to the backstop, and that's allowed Perrier to move up to third base. He now sits 90 feet away from scoring the Majors' 15th run of the ball game.
3-1. Mullen pop back off the screen. And now the count moves to full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Good battle right now between Strecker and Mullen. Mullen's been fighting off the pitches in the zone, and Strecker's missed a few times outside of it.
Strecker ready, 3-2. Mullen reaches for it. Off the end of the bat, foul territory, roaming over, and a nice catch made on top of the mound in the bullpen, ranging over. And the Majors unable to score that run. It is a 14-6 Majors lead. They'll look to try and close it out as we move to the 9th inning. You're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Here at EatHealthyEats.ca, we believe that a healthy diet and good nutrition shouldn't have to be sacrificed for convenience. That's why we deliver the meals to you so they're ready when you need it, even with your busy schedule. On our website, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start by picking your meals from our seasonally curated menus made from local produce. And after that, the rest is up to us. We'll cook, package, and deliver your meals right to your door twice a week. Then eat and repeat. It's that easy. EatHealthyEats.ca, from farm to folks.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Memorial Park on Majors TV coverage of the London Majors and Hamilton Cardinals. We go to the 9th inning, and the Majors looking to close it out. Jordan Spring still on the mound here, looking for the final 3 outs of the ball game. Majors leading 14-6. 14 runs on 15 hits, 1 error for the Majors. The Cardinals, 6 runs on 9 hits. Those 6 runs coming back in the first 2 innings of the ball game. And since then, it has been all London.
No, I don't know the exact stats on this, but I have to imagine a lot of the 9 hits for the Hamilton Cardinals came in the first 2 innings as well. They were getting on base pretty frequently and just have not been able to capitalize since. They've had a few guys on base here and there, but they've been held off the scoreboard since the 2nd inning, and Jordan Spring will look to make that the end result at 14-6 London. He will have to deal with Nathan Scragg, Tyler Duncan, and Josh Niles due up for Hamilton.
So ready to go here, top half of inning number 9. First pitch here from Jordan Spring is going to miss upstairs, 1-0. Now Spring ready again. The 1-0 delivery. Swung on and missed. Big cut at that one. Scragg now at a 1-1 count. Now Spring. Grabs his sign, delivers. Nice little off speed there. Gets a swing and a miss in the dirt. Mullen picks it 1-2.
Good job by Robert Mullen behind the plate. Keeping that ball in front of him. A good pick.
Low in the dirt and blocked. Couldn't get him to chase on that one. Out in front of it a little bit too much on the release point and spiked it into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Into shallow center field. Out to get it is McQueen. And underneath it to make the catch. And there is the first down of the top of the 9th inning.
Good play there by Chris McQueen, ranging out into center field. None of the outfielders would have had a shot, so he took a few steps back into shallow center and was easily able to make the grab to get the first out at the top of the 9th inning.
Spring doing a great job since coming in to the ball game. First pitch well outside. 1-0. A lot of fans still sticking around here. It wasn't a big crowd here on this Tuesday night, of course, with the heat, the rare Tuesday night home game. Fouled straight back to the screen. A good amount of them still sticking around to see us through the top half of inning number 9.
I would say a pretty good percentage of the crowd that we had to start this ball game is still here, hanging out with us here at Labatt Park to watch the Majors hopefully close out a victory over the Hamilton Cardinals.
Off the end of the bat, fouled off over top of the Majors bullpen and into the seats.
Nobody dove into the seats to go make that catch,
Nope.
Noah.
Not a whole lot of youngsters out here chasing these balls either.
No, that is true.
I'm not well versed in the schoolings right now. Is school out for the summer, or are we still got a little bit left of school? Just off the plate on 1-2. Spring wanted the call, doesn't get it. It's 2-2.
So that question depends on where you go. For me, I'm done because there's exam week right now in high schools, and I don't have an exam. But there are some students who do have exams this week, and then elementary school goes till next Tuesday, so school's mostly not out just yet.
Drilled in the gap, and a big gap out in right center. That one's going to find its way rolling all the way up against the wall for extra bases, and now looking for third, and up easily into third base with a stand-up, one-out triple. Good piece of hitting there.
Really good swing off the bat of Tyler Duncan, ripping that on the right center field gap, and it was chased down by Wilkie and Joseph. Nobody was quite there for it. Joseph was shaded pretty far towards the right field line and had to run a long distance to get to that baseball, and it kind of didn't help that Wilkie was shaded a little towards the left center, so there was a giant gap, and Duncan was able to find it, and now he's standing over at third after a triple.
In the dirt on the pitch from a Spring. Mullen getting a little bit of time after blocking that one.
Another good job by Robert Mullen staying in front of that baseball.
One already here from Jordan Spring. Right there, catches the bottom of the zone. Strike one and the count at 1-1. Leg kick, delivery again. This one dropped in there. Gorgeous off-speed pitch by Spring. It's 1-2.
Great off-speed there from Jordan Spring. Finds the outside corner for the Majors. As a strike away from retiring Niles, who's 1 for 3 in the ball game.
Spring swung on and missed. Good off-speed pitch to get him. And there's 2 gone.
With the ball and 2 strikes, Spring took something off of that one and got the chase from Josh Niles. It would have been a strike had he left it. And right there, he was way out in front of that baseball and came up empty on the swing.
So the Cardinals now 2 out in the top of the 9th inning, down to their final out in the ball game. Spring looking to try and set down Lane Renault here. The first pitch he throws is a strike across the outside edge, and he'll get ahead. No balls and a strike.
Good first pitch there from Jordan Spring on the outside corner to Lane Renault. Renault understood that was a strike on the outside corner, though he wished he would have swung at it, I'm sure.
The off-speed chopped, and that one goes flying into the first row of seats just off to the right side of the Hamilton dugout, but Spring gets ahead 0-2.
Spring has done a good job since that triple of locking in a little bit, and he's able to fill up the zone. Got the strikeout of Josh Niles, and now a strike away from closing this thing out.
Looking to grab his sign from Robert Mullen as he comes set on the mound. Here's the delivery, swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. Jordan Spring comes in, records a couple of punch-outs in the last inning, and the Majors hold on to win 14-6. The final score here at Labatt Memorial Park, and a big win for the Pinstripes.
Absolutely it is, Noah. After that tough loss on Sunday in the Pack the Park game, the Majors were looking to bounce back here tonight, and that's exactly what they did. Things looked a little bit grim early on in that ball game as Daniel Gore struggled a little bit in that first inning. He allowed 5 runs in the first. He allowed another in the second, but was able to settle in after that and let the offense do its job.
Well, up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth, and the Majors victorious here, 14-6 the final score. 15 hits for the Majors, still 10 for the Hamilton Cardinals in this game, in an offensive-filled performance. But the Majors down early. They let 5 runs up in the first, 1 in the second, down 6-0. Things weren't looking good, but battling back, and at the end of the day, 14 unanswered runs.
That's pretty impressive, Noah, and this team doesn't get down on themselves. They know what they are able to do, and this offense is just fantastic. I think it was in the 5th inning when they scored 7 runs. I was like, this is unbelievable, because it is. They don't get down on themselves. They know that they have the skill to come back in these ball games. 3 different guys hit home runs tonight, Noah. Starling Joseph had one, Robert Mullen had one, and Austin Wilkie had one of the farthest home runs hit this season at Labatt Park. Just a really impressive performance by the Majors offense and a really impressive performance by the pitching after the first 2 innings.
Yeah, really settling down there. The starter Daniel Gore settled down after the first couple of rough innings, and then everybody out of the bullpen as well doing a fantastic job. The Majors, big win here on this Tuesday night, finishing off a big 4-5 and looking forward to next weekend. That brings us to our next broadcast, which is Friday night. We're on the air shortly before 7:30 for the pregame show, and then first pitch flies shortly after that. It is our only broadcast of the weekend, so make sure you check us out here. And that does it from us here in the broadcast booth and here at Labatt Memorial Park tonight. From our broadcast crew here at Majors TV, we say thank you for watching with us.